What's going on, everybody? What's up, hero? Sorry we're late. It was my fault. I was trying to get a certain B-roll footage of my boycott video from Ghost of Yote because, you know, that word is being thrown around a lot again. So I want to remind people what boycotting actually does for video games. So that took me a while to get it. I had to download it off of YouTube, then put it over because the way I do my videos is all cluster. Anyways. But tonight we have a great show. We have a great topic. I always feel like Conan when I'm introducing the show because it just feels like everything he says. Like, we have a great show. I'm terrible. My guests are amazing. Like, that's kind of the general sense that we do here. First topic is going to be EDOS Montreal. Boss says that execs are much more Excel than passion driven. In other words, like it's way more profit driven. What kind of money can this make? Not how creative can you be? Not are we breaking ground? Are we offering something new? Is this going to move the needle financially? Is really what he's saying is all that matters. Which is kind of going to feed into, you know, the Steam machine. They've had to update their prices and increase prices on what they are charging. They even come out and said, hey, listen, we didn't want to do this. It's because of the market, because of the RAM, because of all that. We did not expect to be able to, or to have to charge this much. Whether you believe that or not, that's what they're saying. And it's indicative of where the market's at. Everything has to make money right now because margins are really tight. Is that the new Amazon Fire Cube? Yes, it is. What's up, Rachie? And then we're going to also transition that into discussing GTA 6. GTA 6 right now is out. It's out for pre-order. You can get it. It's $80 for the base version. It is $100 for the deluxe, and all digital. There is no such thing as a physical disc with this game yet. They're not doing one at launch. There's been no indicator that they're doing one after launch, and it's just something that people are now gonna have to put the rubber to the road. Do you want to play the game? Or do you want to die on the hill of physical media? That's a question that you are going to have to ask yourself as a gamer. The thing I want to discuss more is the $80 price point. I want to discuss what other devs do we think are going to be next in line to try the $80 thing, the $80 experiment. Like, Nintendo did it with Mario Kart. That was kind of the first one. Everyone's like, hey, it's Nintendo. They can do what they want. That's my excuse for it. Like, Nintendo people are going to buy whatever Nintendo tells them to because it's Nintendo, and they could charge whatever the heck they want. And so because of that, who's next? Is it Sony? Are they gonna look at God of War Laufey and go, you know what? That's high quality. That's $80. Is it gonna be EA? Is it gonna be EA might do it for like Madden? Hell, they're already charging like $160 for both Madden and college football together in a bundle. So like, they're not far off anyways. Or 150, I think it is. So they're like 75 per. So like, there's other implications that this could mean for gaming. I'm not gonna be pulling the thread necessarily on is the boycott gonna work, because that's a stupid thread to pull and I don't plan on doing it. Then the really fun one that we're gonna talk about tonight is the Final Fantasy VII Revelation director says his next game won't be a remake and could be a grand scale RPG. This is Hamaguchi, so I'm excited about this. He's put a lot of work in on this trilogy over the past few years, and just kind of want to see what we think his next game is going to be, what we would like to see from him. And so, yeah, that is basically the entirety of the show. It's not in depth. I promised y'all last week I wasn't going to be talking about Xbox again for a third week in a row, and I'm not. They could have lit the world on fire this week, and I wouldn't be talking about them. I don't want to. Therefore, I don't have to. And so I got two people on here who also don't have to talk about Xbox to have a good time on a podcast. They would rather talk about the games, and that is Enate and Morghan, two members of the Otter Player podcast. And we'll just start with ladies first. Morghan, how are you doing?
I'm good. Feeling great. GTA marketing is about to start, so I'm feeling really good. Can't complain at all. So, yeah.
Okay. Now, what are you... This is always a loaded question that I have to be careful asking you and Enate,
Okay.
because we could be here for the next hour, but that's
shit.
also okay. What games are you playing right now?
Okay, don't worry. I will make it quick. My current game, I'm only really playing one game right now. And that's
Okay.
The Adventures of Elliot. The Millennial Tales. I am absolutely loving it, loving everything about it. It's only getting better with time. The more, I'm playing it, the more weapons I'm collecting, the better the combat's getting. There's more elements added to the combat. Like I didn't even know there was gonna be like a parry mechanic, and I was like, oh, okay, we got that now. Awesome. But yeah, the story of, The Adventures of Elliot is just getting really good. Who I thought was going to be the main villain is apparently not. So I'm like, okay, so I'm curious who's it going to be. I enjoy the artwork and the look of the game. The art style of the game is, some of my favorite. I'm a big Team Asano fan, and this is, they made Octopath. They've made a lot of the HD 2D games that I really, really enjoy. So, I was skeptical at first of the game because when it comes to 2D HD games, especially JRPGs, I prefer turn-based combat. So I saw it was action, and I was like, I don't really know about this, right? But thankfully, like most JRPGs, they had a demo up, so I tried it, and I was like, okay, yeah, finished it. I was like, okay, yeah, I got to pre-order this game. And yeah, it's really, really good so far. It's one of those games where I'm thinking about it when I'm not playing it. I was thinking about it at work, like thinking about the side quests that I need to finish before I get to the next main mission, thinking about some of the collectibles I need to get. Like I need to, find these freaking cats, like, stuff like that. Just a checklist of things I need to do in order to, finish this game, because July is coming up and I have another set of games that are dropping this summer. So yeah, I'm really enjoying my time with Elliot. Have no complaints thus far, but yep.
Okay.
That's what I've been playing.
So I now know where you're at in the game, because you've said the main villain you thought was the one guy. Turns out that that's not necessarily the case. So who is it? Have you collected all of Faye's abilities yet?
I have not.
Okay, so I
have 2 more.
Oh, so you have 3 of them then?
Yeah,
because there's 5. Okay, so you're about to get the 4th, and the 5th one comes a little later.
Okay.
I'm interested to see what you think after you get the final ability with Faye and everything kind of opens up. And by open up, I mean, have you unlocked the 4th age yet?
No.
Okay, so that's what you're going to do now. Got it.
Right.
Okay, so once you get the 4th age unlocked, it's like with any good JRPG, when you get to the 3rd disc, the map opens up. And I want to know what you think when that happens, because there's a lot of... Up to this point, you're getting like main quest and like side quest. And main quest and side quest. And then main quest and side quest. It's like almost a 50-50 split the whole way through. And it's like one at a time on each. Well, once you get to this spot that I'm at, you get like 8 dropped on you, and they're all spread out through the ages, still in the same main city, but all spread throughout the ages. And a couple of them, I just did one where you had to go like basically making the band almost, and you had to go find musicians, and you had to travel to each of the different ages to find musicians. And then the last one, you had to travel back to the age of Reconstruction, and then back to the age of Budding, and then back to the age of Reconstruction to complete the last part. So you traveled like 8 times to complete this one little side quest. And each time you had to go to one of the outer city pillars and then travel and then like walk all the way back in, go to the little hut where the guy is, talk to him, then go back out, then travel again. It was a freaking nightmare. And it was the first point in the game where I was like, this is annoying.
Yeah, I
And
feel you.
if you look at the Steam reviews,
Yeah, I saw they were mixed.
but everyone's there's a few on there, not every single one, but there's a few on there that are talking about mainly how the fast travel mechanic takes so damn long.
See, I have the opposite feeling. I really like the fast travel mechanic in that we can use it freely. Like we don't have to go to a certain point in order to use fast travel. That we can just open up the map and fast travel instantly, as long as we have like some kind of the beacon available, and it works quick. Like I mean, it doesn't take too long. Like it's a few seconds, at least for me.
Yeah, they're saying the animation is annoying.
Oh, they're just doing the animation every time. Yeah, especially if
Yes.
you're traveling between the millenniums. Yeah, there's that little kaleidoscope looking loading screen that happens. Yeah.
Yep. And I was like, what the hell are these guys talking about? It's so, like you said, it's so fast, it's so easy. What do you mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's what they mean. I got it now. That makes sense. One thing I will say, this collecting the cats was really funny, because you start off and the first thing you see outside of the first gate you go to is
literally a cat. Yeah.
And
I like the different meows the cats have. Like it threw me off that first time I heard that, like that deep man going like meow.
meow.
Like, what? Like, yo, what the fuck? I had to stop and pause and just laugh for like 5 minutes, because just I thought maybe there was it was like a glitch or something that I clicked the X again, and I was like, oh, that's the literal meow. Okay,
it's the meow. It's so bad.
So funny.
And I was like, oh, that's just a human saying meow.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's like, oh, it was bad. But there's also cat people in the game, so like it just.
Yeah, he is conveniently in every time, which is so funny. And he won't explain how he gets there either. He's like, "Oh yeah, just so you know, I like cats, so I'm here. Don't worry about it. Just bring me cats, bro." I was like, "Oh, okay, got it."
At one point the age of budding, he was like, "Oh, Elliot, you're here." Like, dude's been waiting on you for a decade. Like, hey, you're here.
I've been fighting to get to every time, having to fight bosses and take magical items in order to time travel. And this motherfucker is just there at all these different time periods with knowing God knows how. Like, I'm just, Lord, I was just like, all right, cool. I was like, he must have that power that the brothers have in God of War, where they're just always where Kratos is.
Yeah.
I was like, how the hell did you get here? He's like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're just here. Don't ask questions.
Because reasons. That's why. Shut up.
That's all.
Absolutely. I'll say this too. There were a couple of the dungeons that I got turned around in. Because if you go into a dungeon and you pick something up that like you were supposed to grab, the game doesn't automatically like teleport you out of the dungeon. It doesn't complete the quest. It doesn't send you back to the. It's just like, cool, you grabbed this item. Where you going now? And I'm like, what?
See what I do? I just open the map now and just go down to the level with the little beacon
with
and
the
just
thing?
time travel to that.
Yep.
Yeah, and just travel to that, and since that's the entrance, and just walk out, because I'm like, I'm not going through this whole damn maze of a dungeon again. So I just fast travel out of it.
So. Rachie said, all that magical mushroom SSD for what? Watch the teleportation animation with us mechanical hard drive peasants? That's kind of what it feels like, but I will say this, the loading times on the PlayStation are still faster than the loading times on PC. That's also why they're a little pissy on PC right now about the game, because it's not heavily optimized for PC right now.
Oh, okay.
And so, it's a Square Enix title. At the end of the day, it's still a Square Enix title. Therefore, Square Enix PC optimization is still a thing. And so I didn't even think about that. But someone was like, "Yeah, performance is really low on it too." And I was like, "It's a pixel game, really? Like, how are they having performance issues?" But we don't. I'm not saying we. I haven't really dealt with any kind of stutter, lags, freezes, crashes.
Yeah, me neither.
It's
working really good for me
the whole way through. And I had one of the other criticisms for it was Navi 2.0 is they say she's too annoying, and I'm like, she's as far as companions go, she's not that bad at all. Like, her voice isn't totally annoying, and she's actually helpful, and not in the annoying way. Like, it's pretty... She saves you from wasting time, is one of the things I like about her, because you'll be actually in a dungeon, and you'll come up on something, and she'll go, we don't have the tool needed for that, I don't think. And like, oh,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to go spend 30 minutes trying to find a switch to figure out how I open this gate. She just told me I can't. Awesome. And so, like, you're going to run into a place that's, it's this beautiful, oh, I can't wait for you to see it. It's so gorgeous. And you go inside, and there's 2 platforms, and all I can say is you have to play the game to figure out why you can't use them right now. And it's really cool when you get it, because you're like, oh shit, I have to go back now because I just figured out what I did. And so, yeah, I've been enjoying the game. My enjoyment of the game is waning a little bit more as I get deeper in, because the story, the story feels kind of milquetoast.
Oh man,
it's not. When somebody says Square Enix, I expect a story with twists and turns and intrigue and mystery, and outside of bad guy came, did bad things, possessed good guy to act like bad guy. That's it. Like, Elliot has the depth of a piece of bubble gum. There's literally no depth to his character at all. Like, at all.
Yeah, I mean, he is a very sweet boy.
He is just the goodest of boys. He is golden retriever energy all day long.
Absolutely.
Like, he is they did to him what people accuse them of doing to female characters, where they just make them goodies that, like, have no depth of character whatsoever. Like, that's what they did to him. And at the beginning, it was kind of endearing, because it was like, oh, this is a new approach to the game. I kind of like that. But they did nothing else with it at all. And the people you come in contact with, the most interesting one is the princess. And, well, just like any good princess, she gets trapped in a crystal. Like, she doesn't really get trapped in a crystal, but it's kind of the same thing. So, I mean,
like, technically, yeah.
I mean, right? It's the same thing. It's like,
yeah,
okay, cool. So, like, on one hand, they tried to do a different approach, but they didn't expand on that approach. So I'm like, I really hope there's some big twist coming up, and I mean massive twist coming up. Like, the bad guy is actually Faye. Like, I need some big twist to go, I didn't see that at all.
Like, I mean, we do. Faye's background is, a mystery right now.
Listen,
so
she's
maybe.
Sketch. She's so sketch.
Yeah, maybe.
We know you die in the demo. You die at the end, and the fairy revives you. That's all we know about her. That's the extent.
That's her mini flashbacks where she remembers certain words but doesn't remember, people's faces or anything. So
oh yeah, and nobody else can see her. So the whole thing. Here's how
it's like, oh man, maybe Elliot's just crazy. He's the only one that can see her.
Stop it. So yes.
He thinks he's on an adventure, but he's locked up.
No, he thinks he's on an adventure, but he's still floating in the mist.
Oh, he's still dead.
He's still dead. He's living out his greatest adventure dead. Like,
that's crazy.
I hate, like, cop-out endings like that where, oh, it was all a dream. But I think in this one, I need that. Like, I need something to that effect to be like, okay, listen, gotcha. All of that was just a dream. Okay, cool. That's why everything worked out so well. That's why everything was so goody-goody. That's why everything was the best of all possible worlds. Got it. Okay, that makes more sense.
Unfortunately, I don't think that's gonna. I think it's gonna be a real simple goody-goody ass.
It's gonna be a simple. And make no mistake, guys. I'm not giving any spoilers at all. You will figure out that he is a goody-goody from the demo. Like, I don't have to. The guy gives all of his adventure spoils to an orphanage. Okay? Like, He goes back and talks to every one of the kids, and they all love him. Every woman in the city who's single wants to be with him. Every guy wants to be just like him. He can tame kittens. He can tame hearts. He is just the most goody, goody, goody.
I laughed when he was very upset about the possibility of experimentations on the beast tribes. I'm like, bro, we just like killed 500 beasts. Like I've been playing this game for 6 hours and I've killed like thousands of beasts. He was like, no, don't you dare experiment on them. That's evil. I'm like, sir, I literally just took this fucking arrow, flaming arrow, and just annihilated a whole tribe. And then I took this mallet and smashed a beast's head in. And he's like, no, I might kill them, but you can't. Don't do it like that. No. Just like, Elliot, okay, cool, man, cool.
Yeah, like, come on, dude. But I'll say this: the art design is gorgeous. The way it handles and plays is very, very good. I have no complaints with performance, graphics, anything like that. The combat system is serviceable at most of the time. It's annoying at others, but like, you're gonna get that in any kind of. I think you're going to get that in any kind of 16-bit game that works off of a standard up, down, left, right, diagonal axis. Like, the game, you can't... In other words, I can't swing my character in an actual circle. I can move him up, down, left, right, or diagonal. That's it. And so in games like that, combat can sometimes feel a little stiff, because your movement's super limited compared to other games where, it's a full 3D model and you can do all the things. Like, I'm playing Soros right now and I can move that guy in a full 360-degree circle and it's fine. But outside of that, I think the game is good. I do not think it is great. I think it is good. Also, the soundtrack, I don't know what people are hearing because everybody seems to love it, and I think it is one of the most basic, simple soundtracks that I've heard Square produce. It's just... How dare you?
I love that soundtrack. I was bumping to it. I was like, oh, okay, I hear you flute. Like, I was like, okay.
But there's nothing, there's not a song that I remember.
Yeah. That's fair.
And that's like, you...
it's very Team Asano. Like, it sounds very similar to the Octopath soundtracks, which is probably why I like it.
Maybe I've been skewed and jaded because of
Final Fantasy?
No, Expedition 33.
Oh, yeah.
Final Fantasy, like Expedition 33, like, and Metaphor. Like, the Gregorian chanting mixed with like heavy metal or alternative sounds.
But you compare it like AAA.
I know.
AAA
I know, but still, like, I have been spoiled when you tell me it's an RPG and it has a musician's pedigree behind it. I'm like, oh, okay, great. And then I hear it and I'm like, oh, okay. Like,
that's fair.
And so, like I said, none of it's bad. It doesn't have any of the typical voice acting that drives me insane in games like this, where they all sound like little children. Faye gets close sometimes to that annoying high-pitched, oh my god, you're here, Elliot, yay! That type of shit makes me want to lose my damn mind. Thankfully, this game doesn't do it a ton, so it's fine. I know. Dude,
I don't know what the sound was about the audio, the voice acting when the princess was trapped in the ice, like, and it was like really high and really gritty, and I had to turn it down. I was like, oh my god, this is like, it was like so bad, it was making my ears ring.
Yep.
I was like, I cannot. Why would they do that?
I muted
Jesus. it. I had to, because it was like literally causing me to have like a headache. I was like, I can't listen to that. That's terrible.
So they put this kind of almost like high-pitched grinding sound behind the endings of her words. And so every time she spoke, any word, like, at the end of it had this really high-pitched ring grind sound. Mm-hmm. Because she was trapped
fucking
in
nails
ice.
On a fucking chalkboard. Where I was just like, shit.
It was...
Whose idea was that?
It hurt a lot. Like... But yeah, I forgot she was actually inside of a crystal ice block.
Mhm.
Sorry. This anyways. Great game. Sorry, her and I have been talking about this for a while. Enate, how are you, sir? What have you been playing?
Yeah, I'm good. Um, Honestly, just been focusing on completing some of the games that I started either earlier in the year, or in the backlog. Um, right now, I'm finishing up my final run for Super Robot Wars Y. Um, and then I've also been playing or been back to playing. Um, what's it? Monster Hunter Stories 3. Which has been great. I was off of that for a while, got distracted by some other stuff. Um, Honestly, it's just all over the place right now. It's just like a lot of stuff. Still working my way through 007 First Light as well. Um, just a metric ton of games to play. I'm playing everything but Elliot. Funny enough, um, like everybody else seems to be playing Elliot more than usual when it comes to RPGs. And I just, yeah, it didn't vibe with me, which makes sense because, like you said, the series that they stated they wanted to shoot for after. I'm not a fan of it. I don't like the Mana series, and I don't like Zelda. So, yeah, none of that appealed to me. Also, I don't think you're wrong on the soundtrack thing though, because I have heard it. Uh, and while Octopath may have some similarities, it is not Octopath Traveler 2 level.
It's not.
Because Octopath Traveler 2 level is fire. Uh, so there's even levels to that when it comes to the Octopath series, and 2 was incredible. There's a reason that game was my game of the year. Um,
Well, and even
so
like it
yeah,
doesn't seem to match the setting. Like it seems like they went and just did adventuring song number 7 and put it in there. Like
yeah,
that's what it feels like to me. It feels just generic. And strangely enough, that's how I would describe a lot of features of the game. A very generic. It's
yeah,
they are not reinventing the wheel here. They're just not. They are working within a Zelda framework, no matter if they want to say it's mana or whatever. No, it's not. They're working within a Zelda
yeah. They
framework.
are.
And that framework, I was thinking about it. I was like, dude, you know what? A Link to the Past doesn't just have an amazing story with a ton of hooks. You're facing one bad guy who took the princess early on in the game. Like, and the whole game is about you just trying to find the princess. Every story beat is about trying to find the princess. That's it. It's people don't play Zelda for the story. They
No,
play
they
it for
do
the
not.
gameplay. And so if I judge the game just on gameplay, it's absolutely a good game. If I
Yeah,
try to bring it in and judge it based off of how I normally judge a Square title, it falters, and I'd say it's somewhere around a 7.5 if I'm being generous, just because I give it a 5-point bump because it is at least something different that Square hasn't tried yet. Like Team Asano has not done this type of game with this type of combat. And so, like, it makes sense a little bit why they don't want to do something super crazy. But I don't know. I'll stop talking. Go ahead.
but yeah, no, I mean, like I said, you're not wrong. Um, like I said, in regards to the soundtrack and stuff, from what I've heard, um, and yeah, like you said, it's hard to deal with that when you're used to hearing something really unique, which is something that we kind of got into at one point when we were having a conversation about music, and I was saying, why people always ask, that especially weren't there, why the PS1 JRPGs and some of the other titles stuck out so much, and a lot of it is were the extremely unique soundtracks. Like I could play a certain song from something, without you even realizing where, and if you played that title, you probably recognize, the unique nature of that title, or that,
Mm.
maybe you might not be able to name the song, but like for me in particular with Xenogears, when I listen to something, I can picture where I was in the game because each of them are so unique. Um, for a while, like the perfect example, right? Movies for the longest time. a lot of them have great soundtracks. As far as like the generic background epic music when the epic scene is happening. So you remember the scene, but not really the music because there's nothing unique about it. But when people talk about something like Interstellar, right? Everybody remembers that extremely unique soundtrack that was crafted for Interstellar. Like so you know when you've got something special like that. But yeah, like I said, man, for the most part, yeah, like I said, I'm just trying to make it through the games that I got, at least until Assassin's Creed Black Flag comes out. That's kind of a drop everything title. So um, went on ahead and got the deluxe edition for that because I'm a big Assassin's Creed fan, especially Black Flag. So yeah, I'm ready to jump in that in July and start pre-ordering some of these other titles so that I'm not pre-ordering everything all at once when September and all this stuff comes. So really just the excitement for getting through the titles I already have, and then the excitement for the stuff to come is probably like the biggest thing. Like we're finally getting the deep dives in some of these titles, and we got some release dates. You know, Star Wars Zero Company is a big one for me and Morgan in particular. Um, you know, I'm a big XCOM fan, so you know, getting that team back together to create another title like that and have that coming up very shortly. Yeah, man, I'm just excited to see how this, you know, this incredible year as far as game releases go, is really going to end because, you know, now we're locking in with GTA. Like we were saying, it's available. You can pre-order it, um, which has not happened. So, uh, you know, in prior years. So, I mean, there's so many incredible titles still yet to come. Onimusha, the demo for that was amazing. Like we said, Ace Combat 8. Like there's so much heat coming still, and the start of the you know the first half of the year was already amazing. But I'm not even through all that stuff yet. With games like Pragmata and so on and so forth. So
When you
yeah,
said that,
I'm
my
just
first
excited.
thought was Pragmata. I was like, I want to go back and play that so bad, but I want to beat Elliot, and then I have a lull, but I'm trying my damnedest to take those months off when there's not necessarily a game that I just need to grab day one, and I can then take that month off and play some older titles, like games that I have 5 to 10 hours left in that I just need to
You just need to complete them.
I
Yeah,
just need to, like, metaphor. I guarantee everybody here, I got 5 hours max left in that game. I'm already down to the final three. I'm about to go fight the big bad guy. All I have to do is set the trap, and I'm done. Like, that's it. At least
yeah,
that's the way the game is presenting it, that's it. We are going to the
yeah.
final thing.
I've
I've
got one where I'm like that myself, so I know you can tell when you're
like,
close. This one I know in particular because I've beaten it on 3DS, which is Bravely Default,
okay.
and I'm playing the remake on Switch, and like I'm already like level 95, and I checked my 3DS save, and I apparently beat the game when I was 83, so I'm well above. I've got pretty much all the classes except one, and literally I'm like a stone throw from the castle and the final boss, and like I just left that. I don't know. I just left that game on red, like like you know a couple months ago, and just haven't touched it. But like I'm like you said, I'm right there. Like I could beat it tonight, you know, before like 10 p.m. Like it's that close. And I don't know. Sometimes you just refuse to go back, and then you finally get that wire, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna do this before I don't want to do this, which is a big reason why when I'm really in a game and we're really pushing, I don't stop because I'm like, nope, all the way to the end. Keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Put the blinders on and just keep going. Because if I stop, it gets dangerous, especially if something incredible I know is coming out that's going to catch my eye. I gotta finish it before that game drops.
That's what happened with Rebirth. That I got bogged down, and I was like, I have to finish this now because if I don't, it's going to be 6 more months before I do. So I stopped doing all of the
Yep.
side quests, and I just beeline the story for the last, like, I don't know, 20% of the game, and
Yeah.
because I didn't want to stop and I didn't want to give up, and so because of that, that's what I did with Saros also. I was like, I have to get Sorrows finished. So I used the modifiers to be able to finish Sorrows, because I was like, I want to finish this game. I want to see where the story goes. I want to see how it ends. But I don't have time to do another like 80 to 70 to 80 runs to build up everything to get where I need to get. So once I got past the third biome using that like but using that strategy of building up my skill tree until it's full and then using modifiers if needed, I just decided to use the modifiers because I was like, I need to get this thing done. And there's other games that are starting to come out and I need to finish this crap. So, because I know that about myself. I'm very much an ADHD gamer like nobody's business. And if I get sidetracked, I'm done. Like, you can just write me off. That's why Josh and I have actually started. Sorry, I'm feeding the dog. Josh and I have actually started playing Ghost of Tsushima Legends last night, and that game, multiplayer mode, is extremely fun, and it's a great counter to me playing a game like Adventures of Elliot. So it kind of keeps things fresh a little bit, because I go into this one that's beautiful, AAA this, AAA that, everything is gorgeous. The combat feels so visceral. Like, I forgot how visceral the combat felt when you do a counter on somebody and it slow-mos and then you reach in with your samurai or with your sword and just slice them. Like, the way it felt and the way the presentation works, it was so freaking good. And so being able to do that, I think, is going to really help maintain my focus on the games that I'm trying to actually beat. But
yeah, you got to find a solid cadence. You know, I mean, I usually keep some sort of multiplayer or co-op game going as a, you know, in balance with whatever single player titles I'm playing, and it kind of helps you pick a change of pace when you know, maybe that night you don't feel like getting into it. But yeah, Ghost Legends I think is a great pace changer. So yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, it was, and we both messaged each other after, like, we didn't expect to have that much fun playing it.
It's an incredible mode, man. It is also a very time consuming mode. Like, they put a ton of stuff in it. Like, a lot of people didn't understand, like, there's a reason they announced like there's no more updates, because they basically put more in it out the gate than was in the final part of Ghost Legends prior. So, like, people don't really understand how much content was there. And it's like, yeah, no, they don't need to do anything else. Like, it's fully fleshed out. It's got, you know, 100+ levels of gear, with all the different, you know, all your different, the ninja, and, you know, all the different classes. Like, it's an incredibly fleshed out mode. So yeah, which you could just jump in, like you said, and just, it's completed. The raids are there. It's good to go. And, you know, you can jump in whenever and just kind of play it on your, you know, on your off days. So yeah, I get that.
It's such a, like, we got to see, so I played Legends with my previous play group, the one I played Outriders with. I played Legends with those two guys back in the day, and I lost my save file for it. I still have my trophies, woohoo! But I lost my save file, so if I ever want to go back and complete Iki Island, I have to beat the base game again. That's a chore. So that's probably never happening.
That's a lot.
That is a lot. But I do have, I was still able to get into Legends mode and do all that. And we looked at it last night, and we didn't realize how much crap they had added, because neither one of us had really touched it since it released. And they have added so much shit. There's stuff everywhere. Like, so you can run through the main missions, and you could always do those 3 times, and because there were 3 different levels. And so you run through them all on easy, or basically easy, normal, and hard. I think they're called something different, but essentially it's easy, normal, and hard. And then after that, there were other not character missions, but there were little side story things. And then there was like a horde mode type deal, and that's all they had. Well, now they got raids, they got the horde mode still, they got another mode where it's like a weapon specialist almost. Like, they did so much crap with it. They're still doing weekly events, guys. Like, they still have weekly event counters, whether they're just automatic or not. That's still freaking impressive for a game mode that was, one, included with the purchase of the game, two, could have been sold separately now that I've looked at all the shit they have in it, and three is like what Enate said, it is a fully fleshed out title now. Like, there's nothing that I can look at that says, oh, this is just an add-on. Like, yeah. Anyways, that was a sidetrack, but sorry, I got sidetracked again. Wow, it is a bad night for me, guys. I am so sorry. My brain is all over the place. Well, so I have X up right now, and I'm seeing something that this dude posts where it shows hang on, y'all just gotta see it. It's like a comparison between RDR2 and Grand Theft Auto 6, the characters in it. And it's like, here you go, I'll just show it to y'all. And this is what distracted me. So, like, it's going between all of the characters and how they all look very, very similar to RDR2 like characters. And so it's like, is this coincidence? So I don't know. It's really funny. People are already starting to try to pick apart the game, be like, oh, they're reusing character models, which, to be fair, it does. It's very similar. But
oh wow.
Are you watching it now?
Yeah.
That's pretty wild. Like, the Rockstar definitely has a type.
Yeah, they do.
Okay. Anyways, speaking of Rockstar, let's just dive right into that one. Because, like I said, I care very little about GTA 6. I'm more concerned about the overall implications of what it means going forward. We all knew that this day was coming where games were going to start costing more. They alluded to it a couple years ago. Xbox wanted to do $80 games. They tried, and then they backed down from it. GTA has always been speculated to... heck, people were saying the base game was going to be $100. The Ultimate Edition was going to be $150. And so we've seen that. We've seen that discussion. We know what's going on in the market right now. We understand that the world economy is ass right now, just in general. But when you start getting into the tech sector, it's even worse because of AI data centers and all that. But I would like to point out that the talk about $80 games predates the AI craze and run on RAM, as I like to call it. So this is not something that I can just chalk up, or anybody should just chalk up to, oh, well, it's just the economy right now. Because this was something that was in place, and this was probably going to happen well before anything related to AI, data centers, or RAM shortages even popped up. So we need to keep that in mind when we're discussing this, because there's a lot of people out there who are trying to make the two connect, and they just don't right now. That's not something that I can literally go, hey, this has happening because of this. As Logic always said, or always says, correlation is not always causation. And so we need to be careful when we're looking and trying to make this stuff make sense. Fact is that Rockstar spent a shit ton of money on this game, and they're trying to get back as much as they can. So much so that, here we go. Here's everything. One, the game is $80. The digital or the deluxe copy is $100. They are not releasing a physical disc on release of the game. There is no update from them if there will be a physical disc later. Also, because of that, there are a couple retailers already. So far, 2 USA and Canadian retailers, Video Games Plus and Lootbox Gaming, have decided not to even sell the game at their stores because they are not in the business of selling digital goods. They want to sell physical goods, therefore they are not selling their game because there's literally no disc with it. So you have the gaming is too expensive people. You then have the physical media is best people. You have the I only want to play games that I could still theoretically play on my PS3 with no internet connection whatsoever. And then you have the other sector of people who are the people who are going to buy this game regardless, which, fun fact, anybody who loves GTA is going to buy this game regardless. Also, $10 is not enough to sway enough people for it to make a difference at all. And so I want to lay down kind of that's kind of everything that's gone on with the GTA news. And
Don't forget the paywall.
Oh, yes, thank you. That's the other thing. So, the paywall. Thank you, Morgan. So, here's what they're doing. There are shops within the game. Those shops are only going to be opened if you have the Ultimate Edition. No. Now, I need you to understand what I just said. Not some items in the shop. They're not going to NBA 2K where, hey, you can get gray shirt, black shirt, but if you want blue shirt with electric stripes on it, that shit's going to be tucked behind a paywall. No. They're not letting you inside. They have said no. So, okay, Nelson, you are right. There is another subset of people, which is where I fall, people who don't give a shit about GTA and have no representation whatsoever. That's me. I don't care at all. But this does have implications going forward. So, they're tying this behind the Ultimate Edition, basically making the game $100 for the base version of the game. Like, I need you to understand that it's essentially buying a Series X versus a Series S. Series S still does the thing, but it doesn't do it like it's supposed to. So if you want the game to run and be everything it can be, you have to spend $100 now. And that's a business strategy. And I've talked a lot now. So I'm going to go over to, let's do Enate. I started with Morgan on the intros. Let's go to Enate on the first one on this. Enate, let's just talk about GTA 6. What are your thoughts on everything that's kind of gone on surrounding it? And then once we discuss that, we might branch off into the other question of what this does indicate or what this could indicate going forward. And what's the other developer brash or kind of ballsy enough to try this out? Not saying that Take-Two won't do it again, but like, who's the other one? Who's the out of left field guy that's going to be like, hey man, my game's worth $80 too. So, but first I want to know your take on just kind of what's been going on with Rockstar today.
Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, I mean, it's nothing really new for me personally. I mean, I was always day one deluxe edition. I already told people that, like, I don't play when it comes to the games I want. I know what I like, I know what I want, and I always get the top edition. I'm that guy.
And I got big people money, and I get to spend it how I want.
Yeah, I mean, I go to work for this for a reason. This is just how it is. Like, I pre-ordered the collector's edition of Fire Emblem. While people were complaining about Fire Emblem being $80, the standard edition, and I was like, I don't care. I'm not the standard edition guy. I'm not that guy. So it doesn't matter. Like and then ironically, I seen people complaining about the standard edition price while pre-ordering the collector's edition. So it's like, I'm like, okay, so wait, you're arguing about the $80 version, but you're like, you know what? Screw that. I'm gonna order the $120 version. Like, that's how I'm gonna stick it to them. It's like, what? Like, I'm okay, yeah, sure. Well, welcome to the party. But yeah, so like I said, this ain't nothing for me, man. I bought a $130 edition of, Assassin's Creed at one point, and people were complaining about that. Don't get me wrong, like, I wish it wasn't. I've gradually seen, their editions go from the $100 version to the 110 to the 120 to the 130. But it's also 2026 and everything is up, so it's like I expect parts of gaming to be up, especially the best parts of it. And GTA 6 is probably going to be one of the most incredible launches in history. Like I was explaining to somebody the other day, I was like, I don't think people realize how long it's been since GTA has launched, and I think some people have honestly forgot how incredible they are from a technical perspective and the things that they do that no one else really does. They always reset the expectation when they come out. Like the things that you do in like GTA 5 alone was being done on a PS3, man. Like I don't think people really understand like the fluidity and the animations, the all the things that were just being captured at that time. There's animations or one-off animations that literally are for one single mission that you will never do again in the game. Like that's the type of thing that they do in these titles that are just on a whole different level. I mean, you're talking about a game that maintained being on the sales chart till today. Like GTA still on the sales chart from PS3. No one else got, not even Call of Duty could claim that. Because every year they got to release another game just to maybe make the chart. Like, and hope that, they don't fall off the scale. Like, so again, no one else is like GTA. Like, I don't know why people are even thinking that they are. Last time, GTA was a thing, my nephew who plays GTA and is in high school now was so small he was smaller than my computer case and he could sit on it because that's how small he was. Like we literally have a picture of Priscilla holding him on top of her computer case and he's so small that the computer case is 2 to 3 times bigger than him. And he plays GTA today and is in high school. Like, so I don't think people understand how ridiculous that is. There's literally only one game that really claims that, that isn't like an MMO or something, right? Um, so yeah, there's a lot of people making noise. Like you said, the $80 thing. Like, yeah, no, I don't want everybody to have to pay $80. No, I'm not out here calling nobody broke. You know what I'm saying? I need my job like the next man. I ain't, I'm not a millionaire. Um, you
I'm gonna
know.
call you broke. I don't give a fuck.
I was waiting. I was like, shit.
Morgan gonna always go crazy. But yeah, like I'm not messing with nobody. But I'm like, look, half the people complaining ain't even playing this game.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm extra ignoring you. Like a lot of these people have other issues that are being thrown on top of GTA,
Mm.
right? That like people are bringing up things where they're like, oh, what if like things they don't even know what they're talking about. People are like, oh yeah, but digital games, in the future, if they get delisted, it's a problem. And I'm like,
Yes.
okay, yeah, yes, but also, when is GTA number one got delisted? Number two, when games get delisted that you own, you can still download them.
Uh huh.
They're just delisted for sale, which I get. This is why I said I can't have this conversation in good confidence with a lot of people because a lot of people are not on the industry level that a lot of us pay attention to these things at. So you got a lot of rookies out here trying to have professional level conversations, and you just not on that level. You need to stay in the gamer lane. You need to just worry about yourself. And if you're not standing in line day one, then exit stage left and
Right.
go play Zelda or whatever you plan to play because you about to pay 80 for that too, by the way.
Oh,
'Cause
Ocarina of
yeah,
Time is gonna be $80.
absolutely,
just,
absolutely.
just.
Nintendo might feel froggy and say you're gonna pay 100 and y'all still gonna show up day one, with your amiibos and everything, and you gonna buy it. That's what you gonna do because Nintendo knows when they got the sauce. So it's like again, everybody's got that game that is going to be able to push the needle. That's
Mm.
going to be able to do that thing that they don't like. That they're still going to do it. They're still going to go out and buy it, right? And like again, like I said, like GTA is just on a completely different level, and some people don't like that because GTA is not their game. Now, everybody can't take the passive approach that you did, right? You're like, I don't really care about GTA. Maybe I'll pick it up, maybe I won't. I don't know, but I just don't really care, and you move on with life, right? But a lot of people, they just can't do that. They gotta yell to the heavens because they gotta scream for attention. I had this whole conversation the other day. Some people arguing like some of the biggest people I've seen that argue, that try to argue and like appeal to like people who actually are broke, are not broke. They make six figures. I know somebody right now that the vehicle they drive is 100 plus K vehicle, a Mercedes AMG SUV, cut like customed out the whole nine, But every time pricing comes up for video games, they're right there, like, oh my god, this is crazy. Like, what are we gonna do, guys? And I'm like, you rich bitch. What are you worried about? Like like I'm like literally complaining for no reason. Like, but again, because the traction, they know the voice track though. The voice track is to appeal to the people, right?
Mm,
Why do presidents who run talk about cutting taxes for the people and not the rich people, which is what they're gonna do when they get in there. It's cut it for the rich people, not you. But they're gonna tell all the regular people because there's more regular people. They're gonna help you out. They're gonna get you right. They're gonna give you, the healthcare you always dreamed of. I said, make America great again, right? Like they're gonna give you everything you ever wanted. It's gonna be America. It's gonna be great. Um, we're gonna make everything and cut off the rest of the world because and I'm like, I mean, that sounds stupid to anybody who understands how industry works and logistics, but to the stupid people, they're like, yeah, we're gonna be utopia and it's gonna be amazing. And that's kind of like what's going on here with some of this stuff where people are just like, again, setting the unrealistic expectation that every game is going to be $80. Every game's not going to be $80. Guess what? We are in the era of variable pricing.
I'm about to say, hell, every
Plenty
game's not even $70.
Thank you. Exactly.
Like,
And that's what I mean. When we are in an age where game companies more than ever are starting to understand, hey, you're not that regular price guy. You're $50 or you're
mhm.
$40 or you're $29.99
Hi, that's
or
me.
$26.99. Yeah, exactly. And it's like, but some of those games come out and they do what? Gangbusters, right?
Oh, sure.
We all remember Pal World, right? Whether you played it or not, Pal World sold like crack on a stick. I'm telling you, it was crazy. But it was 26.99. Super odd number, doesn't matter. Sold like crazy. And they understood their lane. If Pal World came out at 70, they would have moved maybe 10% of what they did, if
Right.
that. So they understood the assignment, they understood their value, and they made a ton of money. Um, so yeah, so like I said, I think there's just a combination of too many factors going on. People trying to bring up a bunch of different issues all at once, especially because of the digital thing with the code. Yes, I get that. I'm probably gonna buy it digitally anyway, so I also don't really care. If there was a steelbook, I also don't care. If I wanted the steelbook, I still wouldn't care that it's not in there. You know why? Because I don't keep any of my games in my steelbooks.
Right.
Like
Sure.
I don't know if y'all know that, but steelbooks actually typically chip the inside of your disc, so you should never keep a real disc in there. The point is for the steelbook. It's not really
It's a
to hold the
display
game.
piece. It's a
It's a
display.
display piece.
Yeah.
Exactly. So if they came out with it, there was an awesome GTA steelbook, and I was like, hell yeah, I'll get it, get my download code, and I'll display it just like the rest of them without a disc in them. But
Listen,
like people are
GTA
not
ain't got
ready for
no
that
more money
conversation.
left. That's what this screams to me. This screams Rockstar ain't got no more money left, and they are trying. They just got to get the damn thing out and get it into people's hands. Like, send it out the door. It's done. We're not gonna do any fluff, anything else. We got to get this thing out. And then also, I saw somebody earlier post that it was one of the takes that I actually saw that wasn't like burn Rockstar. It
Mhm.
was like, hey guys, they're probably doing it for spoilers because they're probably going to have a physical release of it later on down the road, but they're probably doing this so people can't cut street date and
I
get
mean
the spoilers and do all of that
that is honestly a great point. And we know that because it happens
all the
literally
time.
every time. I know someone literally who I guarantee you could get the game 4 days early
Oh, I do too.
already.
Oh yeah. So
So
fun
yeah,
fact,
that's a great solution.
Josh and I were talking about this the other day. Australia has like this thing where if they actually have your product in store that you have prepaid for already, and if you ask them for it, they have to give it to you. So
That's
like
wild.
he said that he was able to play a few games early because of that during COVID, because of the
Hmm.
rule that was like, hey, they would get the shipment of them, and he was able to go up there like a week early and like play it and grab the game and get it, and it would work and everything. And I'm sitting here going, that's pretty cool. But like you said, that's that's an easy way to break street date. Like, and
Absolutely.
we all know, and I don't think he does this. He's never mentioned doing this, but we all know that Will has a friend of his that works at a GameStop, and like he would very easily be able to go to that dude and be like, "Hey man, listen, can I get a copy of this early? I'll slip you extra, whatever, blah blah blah." Like, not that his friend would do that or that Will would do that, but like that's something that could easily happen. And it's
Yeah,
not
I mean, it definitely could.
right, and it's not a
And people,
scenario
and this is the game people are going to be tempted to do it on.
oh my goodness. And if you're the guy working at GameStop who's the general manager, quote, and I was doing air quotes, y'all couldn't see that, but like you're working at GameStop, you're the general manager, you're making $17 an hour, and somebody comes in and says, "Man, I've been shopping here for years. Dale, you know me. You know who I am. I won't tell a soul. I'll give you an extra $150. Give me my copy early." Yeah. Okay. Like, like
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you right now, it still wouldn't even be traceable because when I worked at GameStop for a brief stint, right, we would get cases of games a lot of times a week early if we really wanted to, right? If like you said, if you're the manager of the store manager of that store, no one's paying attention to them tapes at that time, right? Outside of the store manager. So if you are the store manager, no one's gonna notice. So if you were just like, hey, you wanted to sell it early, this one copy, because that's all it takes, right? This one copy, and you basically just sold them the disc. They gave you the money, but you kept the case or whatever so that you could scan it and sell it later. You could do that, or you could just keep the slip cover with the UPC code on it and scan it later. There's so many different ways to get away with this.
I was say, dog,
Like,
just give me the disc. I don't need anything else. I can't play the
yeah,
case
I don't
anyways.
even care. Yeah, I can't play the case. I'll come back and pick up my case later.
Yeah.
You keep the case, give me the disc.
I actually tried that with Elliot because I pre-ordered it the day before release date, and they had to go back to the back to make sure that their one copy that the whole store was getting was still there and that nobody's name was sticky noted on the thing. And so I was like, "Oh, y'all have it?" He goes, "Yeah, it's back there. I just double checked." I said, "Guys, it's like 7 o'clock at night. Can I just grab it now so I don't have to come back up here tomorrow after work?" I was like, "I won't even like install it. I just want to not have to make another trip." And he was like, "Man, I can't," and blah blah blah. And I was like, "Man, I wonder how much it would take just to, just to get it, like just for the convenience of not having to go back out."
It would be nice, wouldn't it?
It really would. But no, that's I think the industry, I don't think there's another developer currently outside of Nintendo, but I don't count them. We've already discussed that a bit. I don't think that there's another developer that's really just in line to try this. I don't think, and by this I mean $80 titles. I don't think PlayStation will. At least I don't think going through God of War Laufey, I don't think they will. I can't speak.
I don't think they will. I don't think they will, but I'm buying it regardless.
Sure, that's the other thing. Like,
Yeah.
I could see Square Enix coming out and going, "Hey guys, Revelation,
I could definitely see
$80."
Square doing
Like, it's because they will believe. You have to get a company that's going to believe their own hype, even if the hype isn't there anymore. So like, EA is going to try.
Square Enix believes that they're on the level of Rockstar, so
Yeah, they do.
so that's why they would have the audacity to charge $80 for that.
Listen,
Absolutely.
if they come out and go, "Hey man, this game is $80," I'm gonna buy it. Don't get it twisted. I'm getting the game day one, but I am laughing my ass off because the previous one sold 3.3 million after the one before it sold 7, and it's not. That's not how you get more people. Josh just said COD will try it. I think COD has a shot at grabbing it, only because, and I know it sounds weird, and Matt Booty said this, and I slandered his ass hard for it, but Call of Duty is one of those franchises where I think they can get away with charging $80 because people who play that don't really go over to other things. So like, I get one game a year, and now it's $80. I was already going to spend $30 on the battle pass. I was already going to spend $60 on season 2. I was going to get the Beavis and Butthead skins. I was going to get the flying unicorn where I could fart rainbow glitter. Like, I was already going to do all that stuff. Might as well pay an extra $10 for the game. So I could see the Call of Duty player rationalizing the shit out of that. But like Enate said, I can also see... So you have to have two things. You have to have, one, an irrational fan base. You got that with almost any popular IP. Assassin's Creed has them. Final Fantasy has them. Hell, Fire Emblem has them. Like Nate said, he's going to buy that shit regardless of what they said the price was. He was getting it. So, like... Absolutely. The Ace Combat 8. Ace Combat 8 is a great game that they could have looked at me and said, hey, this is $80. And I would have said, I don't give a shit. I have zero Fs about that at all.
Another game that I don't get anything less than the Give Me Everything edition.
I am getting the Give Me Everything. Yeah. Well, I'm getting one step below because I don't have a vinyl player. And
yeah, that's fair.
I don't feel like getting... I did tell my wife the other day, I was at Walmart, I was in the game section, because whether I'm buying a game or not, I have to go to the video game section when I'm at Walmart. It's just...
Duh.
That's
a tradition since you could go into Walmart.
Since I was a kid.
You gotta go there. You have no intention of getting anything, but you gotta go see what's in there.
Not a little bit. And I'm even looking at stuff going, man, I cannot believe they're still trying to charge $20 for that game. Like on their sale rack. I'm like, guys, y'all need to bring back the $10 bin and the $5 bin, because these games don't belong over here for $20. And I looked, and I was going through the aisle, and I was like, man, I was talking to my wife, and I was like, I have no intention of buying any of this shit today. But somehow I gravitated my ass right over here to the video games, and she just started laughing. Absolutely. I was like, I don't know why. It's just something I do. But I was, I don't even remember where I was going with that. Shit. I told you guys, it's been a hell of a day. Thrifty going to the video game section, and only 2 to 3 kids are on the section, and people think you are a dad. Oh, I remember. So I was in the video game section. I was on the phone with my wife, and we were talking about Ace Combat 8, and I told her, I was like, you know, because I saw the record players there. And they're like $50. They come in like red, teal. They're very bespoke looking.
Yeah, you started some considerations.
Well, because there's also an OST vinyl for Expedition 33. A lot of companies...
There's also one for Stranger Than Heaven that Morghan pre-ordered.
There's a lot of companies are going to, let's add the vinyl. Let's add that.
Yeah,
and so like... I'm sitting here going, well, you know, I could do that. And then I saw Michael Jackson's Thriller album on vinyl, and I was like, oh, that would be sick. Just like start off a Saturday cleaning day with Michael Jackson's Thriller on vinyl. How beast would that be? And then, so I almost walked out of the store with it. But back to getting the top edition. I'm getting the... I'm getting the one with the pass and all that crap. I don't plan on playing the multiplayer much, but when I do, I want to have the cool shit. And so I'm going to pay the extra money to get the cool shit because, damn it, there's some... So you need an irrational fan base, right? That's the first thing you need. Then you need a developer who either believes their own hype too much or actually has a product that people will spend $80 on. What I mean by that is you can have, say, I don't expect Sega to come out with their next game and go, hey, this is $80.
Unless it's Persona 6.
Oh, shit. Oh, because they have the irrational fan base.
Yeah, they do.
That's the game. That's the game for Sega.
That's the game.
That's the game.
Which is ironic that it's not Sonic, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You tell me $80 for a Sonic game, I'm throwing that shit back in your face.
Immediately. I have not bought a Sonic game over $24.99 in the past decade. Oh. So yeah, no.
Oh man, but it's definitely not indicative of the industry as a whole. If you can believe it, I still only purchase 3 $70 or above titles per year. But I play more new games now than I did 3 years ago on a yearly basis. And the reason is what Enate pointed out earlier, everything has a variable pricing to it now. Everything.
Yep.
It's, oh, this game is $60 instead of 70. Cool. This game is $50 instead of $70. Awesome. This game is 30. Great. Like, you can... And I think that's where GTA 6 is... I think that's one of the... Hang on, I'm jumbling up my thoughts here. So, as far as the money... Shit. Sorry, I looked at the screen and I have GTA 6 on the screen still. And so it looped me back into GTA 6 when I wasn't ready to go back to it yet. And now I've lost it. Fuck it. We will move on. Morgan, what's your thoughts on just everything? The GTA 6, all the stuff that Enate and I talked about. What are your... Like, do you have anything to add to this about, you know, people's ridiculousness? Are you buying the game day one? Are you there no matter
absolutely.
what? Okay.
Absolutely. I'm a Rockstar fangirl, so let that be known straight up first and foremost. They could have charged $200 for this game, and I would have dropped $200. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna let you know right now. I'm gonna just be honest, like, so you know, so if anybody tries to come and be like, "Oh, you're a Rockstar fangirl," I'm like, yeah, I said that already. I don't care. Like, listen, I got like 300 plus hours in like Red Dead 2, and that's just me replaying the game. Like, I don't play the online, right? I got like 500 hours in GTA 5. Again, me just playing the main mission because I don't care about GTA Online. I just love Rockstar. Like, they haven't released a game yet that has disappointed me, whether it's Bully, whether it's GTA, whether it's Red Dead, you know, whether it's LA Noire, right? Like, I've loved every single one of the games that they have dropped. Okay, so there's really nothing anybody could say that's going to change my mind unless Rockstar themselves like show it and it's just ass. But I don't think that's going to be the thing. I think this is going to be a fantastic game, and it's just gonna you know, break the stratosphere when it releases. I'm pretty sure I was talking to Enate about this in like earlier in the chat, and I was like, I'm pretty sure like all the stores, whether it's PSN as far as like the digital storefronts, PSN and the Xbox store, they're probably gonna crash when everybody's trying to download this game. Whenever the preloads happen and like the game actually has to launch, I expect like the game not to work for like half the people who are trying to play, because everybody's gonna try to play it exactly at like midnight or whatever, and it's just gonna cause the servers to like fuck up. Like, it's gonna be hilarious watching it. But yeah, I am extremely excited about GTA 6. As far as like the price tag goes, I don't really care that it's 80. Like I said, I would have paid 200. I don't give a fuck. But beyond that, it's more of, I don't ever pay for the standard edition anyway. Like, I never pay $70. I always pay whatever the deluxe edition is. That's what I pay anyway. So I don't, you know, I'm always paying over 70 anyway for games. So this isn't a new thing for me, because I always want, you know, all of the collectibles, all of the extra goodies, extra weapons, extra, you know, cosmetics, whatever they got, you know, I want that ultra version. That's what I always go for. But yeah, this situation when it comes to the locked content or whatever behind the deluxe edition, also don't give a fuck about that. Like, I'm like, listen, most of it is cosmetics, and the people that are, I think there's a lot of people that are upset about this, and that's okay. You can be upset about it, but a lot of it is misinformation. People are spreading that, oh my God, they locked all of the cosmetics. You can't mod your car. You can't modify your haircut. You can't do anything unless you buy the deluxe edition. And I'm like, no. Okay, you'll be able to mod your car, you'll be able to get a haircut, you'll be able to get tattoos, all that stuff on the base version. There are just special shops with, you know, special outfits and special cosmetics that you won't be able to, use unless you buy the deluxe edition. You'll still be able to do all of that. It's just you won't have this hairstyle unless you get the deluxe edition. You won't have this suit unless you buy the deluxe edition. It's certain cosmetics that you won't be able to get unless you buy the deluxe edition. You can still do everything the deluxe edition offers. It's just certain shops are just locked, and that's it. So it's like for people who are like saying you can't do anything unless you get the $100 edition, that is false. There is the thing with the story mission that is locked. I think it's like one side mission or something, or two, maybe, I don't remember, that are locked behind the deluxe edition. That's but that's not surprising either, because they did the same thing for Red Dead 2. But it's like people have like this amnesia when it comes to Rockstar. Like they completely forget everything, and I guess it's because, well, one, their games take so fucking long to release, that they kind of forget that they, like, again, they did it. They had a bank heist mission that was only available if you bought the deluxe edition of Red Dead 2. Like, it was an exclusive mission behind the deluxe edition, which, guess what, was also $100. But yeah, that was a thing. And I don't remember if people were up in arms about that, but again, this is par for the course for Rockstar. So why this took people by surprise and people were just shocked and awed and, oh my God, we need to boycott them. That's not gonna work. You're not boycotting shit. Okay. I'm telling you right now, this game is gonna be the best selling game of all time. It's gonna make buku amounts of money. They're gonna make their money back in like the first fucking day. And then after that, it's gonna be nothing but like pure profit for Rockstar. When it comes to the physical discs, that one does suck. That is very unfortunate. I think, like, I kind of understand why they're doing it. One, because of potential leaks. And what I mean by that is, when companies ship physical games, they have to ship it to retailers earlier, right? So if it comes out on the 20th, it's got to be at retailers like a week or so before, so they can get the stock in, they can make sure they got everything. And when that happens, people, like employees as well, employees of these stores like Best Buys, Targets, and Walmarts, and sometimes consumers who like to break in to these warehouses, steal copies early and then play them or go online and sell them, and it becomes a whole thing. I remember that happened specifically recently, kind of, with Assassin's Creed Shadows. And it's like, barely, like, that's Assassin's Creed, right? Now imagine GTA 6, the most anticipated game in the world, had a physical copy available, well, not available, but just out in the open, a week before it released. I can guarantee you people will be breaking into warehouses worldwide trying to take early copies of GTA 6 so they could play it. They could do it. They could post screenshots, post leaks, put everything on Reddit, spoil the entire plot. All that shit will be happening. And then, then there's the, negative and salacious side of this whole situation, of some people saying that Rockstar are doing this because, this cuts into the secondhand market, so that, the prices of a used copy of games usually, influences publishers to lower the prices of their own games. Like, let's say if a used copy of Grand Theft Auto 6 was, I don't know, $70 or $65. So Rockstar is going to put a sale on PlayStation for a new copy to be 70 or 75, right? To kind of combat that used copy so that they can get the cut, because, they don't really get cut from used copies. So they're saying they're just trying to just take out take out the secondhand party, because you can't resell a code. Once you've used the code, that's it. Right? You can't take it to GameStop and be like, oh, I'm going to trade this code in. It's like, no, you've already used the code. We can't take it. Right? So they've just eliminated secondhand games. There's no used copies of GTA 6. So now all of the money that Rockstar makes will be on new sales and the prices that they set, so that they can, get all the money that they want. And there's probably some truth to that, to be honest with you. I wouldn't put it past Rockstar to be like, yeah, that's why we're doing this. I think it probably could be a little bit of both. But honestly, the when it comes to if the main reason why they're doing this is leaks, then I believe that they should just release it digital only, on November 25th or whenever the fuck this game comes out. And then 3 weeks later, do a physical release with the disc and the game on the disc. If that's really the reason why they're doing it, to protect the leaks and protect, the game from being out there in the wild before it's intended to be released, then just have a separate release for the physical, right? Release it digital first, and then a month later or whatever, release it physically, right? I think that's the way they should go instead of this whole just box with a code in it. But we'll see if Rockstar changes their mind or if they, decide to give an actual disc later on. I doubt it because again, this is gonna sell like hotcakes. I know there are people who are upset and putting their foot down and saying they're not buying this game because it's digital only and there's no physical disc. But at the end of the day, those are gonna be like drops in a bucket compared to the mass amounts of people who will be buying this game regardless, right? And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of casual fans who really don't understand everything that's happening right now. Very surprised when they go to Walmart or Best Buy to buy this and they open it up and there's no disc inside. They're like, wait, what? Because there's people who aren't informed about this kind of thing, right? That don't really understand or aren't in the know about what's happening with these games. And so I can just imagine somebody surprised when they open this up and they feel like they've been, ripped off because they don't understand that, there's a code and there's not a disc. I'm sure there's going to be people confused walking back into GameStop saying, you sold me an empty box. And they're like, oh, no, there's a code right there. You see that? You got to redeem that.
What's really funny is if all the copies from GameStop get the code printed on the receipt, because a lot of times the special content you get from pre-ordering from GameStop, you get the code printed on the receipt.
Exactly. This whole situation is gonna be really interesting. But yeah, I'm certainly not a fan of the way they've handled it because, like I said, if it's about leaks, fine, just release the physical later. Like, the whole, like I said, the whole disc with the code is kind of stupid.
Yeah, I'm all for that as a solution. I mean, like I said, I'm it ain't gonna stop me from being day one because I'm definitely not gonna be that.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be day one regardless. Me,
yeah.
I'm gonna be like, yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna get it. Like I'm telling you, like Rockstar is just one of those studios where I'm just gonna be like, I'm down for whatever, bro. Just just take me, just let me have fun. Just give me GTA 6. Let me do what I want. And you can do whatever. But yeah, this whole situation is just really funny how people went from like, really hype GTA 6, oh my God, begging Rockstar to give them more information about the game because hey, summer's here. You said your marketing was going to start summer, so tell us something. And they finally told them something, and it's not the something that they wanted to hear. Wait, 80? Wait, deluxe editions? 100? Wait, locked content? Wait, no physical disc?
Yeah.
Rockstar, what? It's just they hit him with a whole bunch of information at once that was just like bam, 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 stuff people did not want to hear. When it comes to this game, I think they could have softened the situation if they had released a gameplay trailer at the same time, right? Because that's really what's been missing from this. We've seen like 2 or 3 trailers, but you haven't really seen straight gameplay, right? Seeing what you can do, what the missions are going to be like, what the gameplay structure is like, what's it like to interact with NPCs, what's it like to walk around Vice City, what activities can I do, what's the step up from GTA 5 to GTA 6, right? They haven't given us that kind of breakdown yet. They just kind of told us the story, the setup, and here's some shots of different parts of Vice City. So I think they could have, like I said, they showed some of that, Rockstar level innovation, innovative gameplay that separates them from everyone else. I think people would have been like, you know what? I hate that fucking price, but I'm fucking pre-ordering it. Fuck it. I'll shut up. I won't complain as much. I mean, it looks great, But again, at the end they don't have to because they know people are going to pre-order it anyway, right? Like, they know they can hold that trailer for as long as possible because people are going to be lining up in droves to pre-order it, whether it's digitally or going out to get that code in a box. So I'm just hoping that they don't hold that trailer for much longer, just out of selfishness, because I want to see what the gameplay looks like. You know, like I said, I'm gonna get it regardless, but I want to see what the game's gonna do, and how it's gonna play. And I'm very curious, you know, how it's gonna play on the Pro. You know, and speaking of which, PlayStation has been pushing the fuck out of GTA 6 right now. You know, they updated the app to have the colors of GTA 6, the purple with the, you know, the Miami quote unquote colors, right? Vice City. Um, they have updated the background of the actual PS5 home screen. So now when you turn on your PS5, at least in certain parts of the world, it'll be tomorrow for us because it updates. It's going to update when you get the pre-order. Like when the pre-order is available in your country, that's when it updates on the PS5 home screen. So for us tomorrow, you know, it's going to turn on your PS5 and you just see the six and the purple light up in the background, and like the whole dashboard is all GTA 6.
Now wait a
Like,
minute. If it's purple, does that mean my PlayStation's now gay?
yes, your PlayStation is now bisexual, and you have to accept that. And it's Pride Month, so you can't really say anything about it. So
Dang. And it already operates off of binary code, so that's going to be really hard for it.
exactly.
I don't know what's supposed to happen there.
You have to accept it. You can't fight this. Okay. It's gonna change you, and that's just how it is. We just have to accept you now as you are. Your PlayStation is now bisexual, so yeah. That's what's
Great.
happening. Yes,
Hey,
fantastic.
you know what? It does have the optional slot now that you can either take off or put on. So I mean, it has interchangeable options. Okay, it could be.
Hey, it's bisexual. It could go either way.
It could go.
Either way, and that's it. And the PlayStation's cool with it, you know. And I just like, I'm just laughing so hard right now because people are like, damn, their PlayStation is pushing this harder than their first party. But I'm like, yeah, because this game is about to make more than every one of their first party games combined. Like, it's going to make more than any other game, whether it's a PlayStation first party or third party. Like, it's going to make more than, and PlayStation's going to be the place that's going to dominate most of the sales. Like, let's be real. Like I get it. You don't have to play on PlayStation. I'm not saying PlayStation is what you have to play GTA 6 on, but I think we have to be realistic that it's going to be the dominant platform for GTA 6. And I can imagine that they probably spent as much as what it costs to, you know, produce one of their first party games on this damn marketing, because they want this game synonymous with PlayStation. Right now, the advertisement is PS5 best place to play GTA 6. They are running with that. That is the tagline right now. They are saying, oh, the SSD, it's going to load fast. It's going to have seamless loading times, which is honestly great because if you've played a Rockstar game, you know that it is synonymous with them slow ass, long ass loading screens, right? The tiles of the different characters as it takes fucking 2 minutes to load in, and it's terrible. Like, the load screens are so fucking long. So to hear that it's going to be near instantaneous on the PS5, great, fantastic. I'm all in. They're talking about the dual sense, you know, the haptics are going to go in. Talking about the visuals, and I'm like, okay, that sounds all good. Now tell me what the performance is going to be like. Are we getting a 60 FPS mode? Okay, I got my Pro. What's happening with that? But I feel like that's a conversation that they're going to be having closer to launch, you know, when they want to do the performance and what to expect, whether it's going to be like 4K, it's going to be upscaled, ray tracing, all that kind of stuff. I think they're going to hold that to closer to launch. So I'm very interested to see, because I know, again, if we see how hard PlayStation's marketing and how much they're advertising it, how much they're pushing it to the fact that they're changing the color of their own app to match GTA 6, we can imagine that they've been sending a lot of engineers from PlayStation over to Rockstar to make sure that this game is, like the tagline said, best played on PS5, right? Mm-hmm. They're sending their best people over there to make sure that they can get every ounce of power out of this PlayStation to push GTA 6, because again, GTA 6 is a console seller. There are a lot of people still stuck on last gen PS4s and Xbox Ones that still have not made that jump, and GTA 6 is that game to make people make that jump. And they want to make sure that people choose PS5. So I know PlayStation is spending a hell of a lot of money and a hell of a lot of time at Rockstar to optimize the game for their console. So I'm very curious to see what's going to happen with that. Now, will we get a 60 FPS mode? I have no idea. But I think if anybody could do it, I think Rockstar could, because they are known for optimizing the fuck out of their games. Like Red Dead 2 launched, and I didn't have any problems, any bugs without how big it was and how much you could do. Like it ran flawlessly for me, like day one. So I expect this game to do the same. But again, there's a lot of ray tracing in this. It's very CPU heavy, so it's going to be very hard for this game to reach 60 FPS. I'm thinking there'll probably be an unlocked frame rate mode or a 40 FPS mode, more likely. But I'm still crossing my fingers. I still hope we get a 60 FPS mode, because that would be fucking fantastic. But
so I have a question.
yeah.
That brings up a really good question. Because if this came out and said no, it's only 30 FPS locked, but the PS5 Pro gives you ray tracing, gives you ambient occlusion, gives you all the bullshit hot names that you can go find out what the hell they mean on Digital Foundry. Like, it gives you everything, right? Would you are you still excited to play? I hate fucking 30 FPS titles. I hate them.
Yes, I'm still excited to play. Because a lot of times, I like you said, I don't like 30 FPS titles either. But a lot of the times, the reason I don't like 30 FPS anymore, well, obviously it's because I've played 60 now, so my eyes are used to 60 FPS now. But it's also because of like the frame dips. Like it's the frame times are inconsistent sometimes with 30. Like half the time when games are 30 nowadays, it's not a lock 30. Like the frames are moving and you can tell, and it's really hard on your eyes. But I will say, for when it comes to Rockstar, because I still, like I said, I still play Red Dead 2 to this day. Like I play like once a year. And the 30 FPS is like strong. It's locked. It's stable. It doesn't hurt my eyes the way a lot of other 30 FPS games do. Because it's very optimized, and the frame pacing isn't off. It's like really consistent, and it's, very, very good. So I expect that if it is like still 30 for GTA 6, it'll be a very locked 30, and it won't be that, fucking fuzzy ass, terribly frame pace 30 that requires VRR to get it to stabilize. It'll just be very optimized. But I'm hoping that it's not. But I'm still playing it anyway, regardless, even if it is 30. But yeah.
Yeah, that's something that would put the final nail in the coffin for me. Like I already was kind of like on the fence, and then with the story stuff that they were talking about, like how this is going to be very heavily story focused. I was like, oh man, I might do it. I love the way the art looks. I love the way the characters look.
Do it,
Everything
Thrifty.
looks great. And I was like, that's cool. But no. Here's the problem. Ace Combat 8 is coming out. Wolverine is coming out. Both of those are going to be $70 titles. Those cap off my $70 title limit for the year. So every other $70 title or above now is just taking a back seat because I'm playing Wolverine and I'm playing Ace Combat 8. And so I'd already made the decision, and then the price came out, and it almost validated my decision. Like, okay, good. I'm glad. I'll find because here's the thing, guys. I want to let every single person here know this. If you want to play the game for the story, you can buy GTA 5 today for like 99 cents somewhere. I haven't looked, but I'm sure GTA 5 is available for under $1 somewhere. Like, meaning you will be able to buy this game not at $80. So if you
I can't wait, man. The spoilers are going to be heavy with this game. Like you would have to literally stay offline in order to, if you were waiting for a sale, like if you're like, I'm not paying the 80, I'll just wait till it come down. You really have to stay offline, stay off Twitter, stay off everything, because GTA 6 is going to be the hottest topic when it drops. Everybody's going to be talking about it. Everybody's going to talk about every mission they're playing, what's happening with the characters, what plot point is coming out. Oh my God, that ending, bro, was crazy. Did you remember old boy died? Oh my God, that shit was crazy. You remember that scene? It's just going to be spoilers like every fucking where. Like you're going to have to mute 78 words in order to not be spoiled for GTA 6 if you're waiting. Like that's the only caveat that sucks. Like you're just gonna have to just get off of Twitter, essentially.
So let me respond real quick to Hero. Hero, that game has been free before. Like GTA 5 has been given away. Like I believe it was in Plus at one point. So like yes, you can find the game, and I just looked, and the cheapest copy, yes, the cheapest copy right now according to Google is like $10. But still, you can I guarantee you at some point you're going to be able to find the game within the next few weeks at $5. $9.99 is another one, but that's the Xbox version. Xbox One version, rather. So, like, my point in saying that is that game goes on sale, and deep $10 is not $1. Thank you. Thank you. You're absolutely right. $10 is not $1. I stand corrected. My bad. You can buy it for dirt cheap. So you can wait if you want to. Now, to Morgan's point, yes, people will be talking about it a crap ton. But I am going to say that with the way that people play GTA 5, people are going to be talking and posting more about the wild shit they're able to do in the game than the story or than the actual like mission content or the character development. Like, I feel like people who play Grand Theft Auto are the same people. No slight. I this is going to sound bad.
How dare you? I know you're about to insult them. Oh my god.
I'm about to insult. I'm about to, like, it's not an insult. It's not. But it's the same type of people who spend hours in KCDC 2 or spend hours in Crimson Desert. A lot of times they don't really give a rat's ass about the story. They are exploring the world. I know folks.
You're about to catch a lot of smoke.
I know.
Because
I know.
KCD2 is like her jam. So
I know.
I'm just
It's
yeah, I'm holding myself back.
But it's one
I mean,
of those.
hey,
It's one
Crimson
of those.
Desert, your jam, sir, Mister. It's my game of the year.
Right.
I mean, yeah, but I don't. I mean, he knows I don't give a fuck.
Right. Skyrim. How many people play Skyrim and still haven't beat it, but have 1,000 hours in it? Like those type of games are not played primarily for story. They're played primarily for the sandbox.
I mean, so I get what you're saying, right? And I agree that type
and so
of person
I'm not
exists.
necessarily worried
I
about
agree.
spoilers.
I agree that type of person exists, but when I play GTA, when it comes out, the single player, I am playing to completion. I'm playing for the story. I'm playing for the characters. I'm playing for the gameplay that takes place in these titles. There is always me and Morgan were literally busting off one-liners from GTA's of years past the other day. You know, when I was just talking about all the funny
ass haircut.
Yeah. Like, I mean, they say some of the funniest stuff on the planet that is you will get nowhere else. Like to this day, your boy from San Andreas is still people still got him coming on streams on Twitch and all kinds of stuff, just being like, "Oh shit, here we go again." Like that's a very basic thing, but
I
the
mean,
way he says it,
PC dudes still putting CJ in every damn fucking game they mod. Like
exactly.
CJ forever there.
Yeah. So I'm like this game. That's why I said this game is a mega phenomenon. Like whether like your ancestors know about this game, bro. Like they ain't even here no more. Like and they hype. You know what I'm saying? Beyond the Grave is hype right now. Yo, GTA is coming out, and I'm glad I chose to haunt this motherfucker with the PS5 Pro right now. I am so glad because I'm telling you, November they are ready. Your ancestors are paying attention, bro. Like that is the type of level that GTA garners, bro. Like again, like I said, there's going to be a ton of great games coming out, right? That's not the takeaway. Take away from all those titles, right? Like I'm going to probably have 1,000 hours in Fire Emblem before GTA even drops, which is impressive, right? I mean that's about all the time I can manage between them. So yeah, there are a ton of great games, but there is no game like GTA. Not
You
even
got
Call of Duty.
companies literally closing the day that GTA comes out.
Oh, facts.
Because so many of their employees have asked for that day off. So they said, fuck it, we might as well just close for the day.
Yeah,
Like it's about to
the
become a
business.
national fucking holiday. It's about to be so big, it's about to affect the national economy. Like motherfuckers are just gonna take it off like it's Veterans Day or some shit. Like it's gonna be huge.
Yeah, like
Like
how many games launch and affect the global economy? Like that's crazy. Like
That's
it's
it's gonna
about
be
to be
insane,
wild.
man.
So that's true. And they are expecting a massive. So here's a question. Here's fun. Okay, so I don't give a rat's ass about Grand Theft Auto, but I do kind of care about the back end and the business side of what happens with PlayStation. So let's fast forward a bit. We're now into November's release date. Is that right? November?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, November 19th. Yeah. So we're in November 19th now. And it comes out, sells like crazy. People are buying PlayStations left and right. And do we think that the PS5 now this is far-fetched. It's probably not going to happen. But do we think that because of the power of GTA 6 that the PS5 will have a record year this year, year 6 into the console gen? Is it first let me ask, is it possible, and then do we think it's probable? Because those are different.
Yeah, possible is probably more of the issue,
Right.
Because I'm not sure they could produce enough to do it.
So you think
I'd
we're going
have
to see
know-
empty shelves? Like consoles are just sold out.
Yeah, I mean, like last minute people are no joke. Like it looks crazy. Like people are
true.
already buying them, right?
Yeah.
Like, but there's still people on my friends list that I see that little PS4 emblem next to their name, and this year, no matter what, they are switching. I guarantee you, because whether it's Grand Theft Auto, whether it's Call of Duty, or whatever, those games are all switching to current gen only. So something is going to push them over, and some of them will wait till literally the week of the day before to finally push that button, or they'll just assume, oh, these things are everywhere. I could get one by now. I'm gonna go get GTA. I'm gonna walk in the store, cop me a PS5, and then they're gonna walk in, and there's gonna be none. So, yeah, that you're definitely
That's gonna break
run
somebody's
into
heart
a
right
few-
there, bro.
I was like, that's
Somebody gonna fall to their
suck.
knees in the middle of a Walmart, just have a whole panic attack, and people are like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" I'm just like, "There's no PS5s." I gotta play these.
What's wrong with Tommy? Why is he crying in the aisle? What happened?
Like, I'm telling you
Exactly.
right now. Now, I believe I was like, listen, if this was any other generation or a normal generation where, as we know, normally consoles lower in price, right? At the point where, if this was a normal generation, the PS5 would probably be like 300, 350 right now. If that was the generation, PS5s would be selling out the door, right? Especially then it's right around Black Friday time too when this launches. You couldn't keep a PS5 in stock if that was the case. I mean, we know PlayStation's gonna have bundles with GTA 6 too, so I don't know if they're gonna kind of work some kind of deal where they can maybe take like $50 to $100 off if you buy a PS5 with that's bundled with GTA 6 or something like they've done with their other bundles. But again, because of components and pricing and things like that, I don't know how that'll play out. I do think they're still going to sell a lot of consoles. Record breaking, maybe, but
Yeah,
again, it's all going to depend on how many people are left on the generation or left without a PS5 or without any type of next gen console, whether it's an Xbox or a PS5. And it's, again, I think people see that gameplay too if it's definitive, and I think it also depend too what that performance is like. Because if that Pro, like I said, if that Pro has an exclusive 60 FPS mode,
oh yeah, that's
the Pro will just be out of
wild.
stock. Like it'll just be gone. It'll be gone.
And people are still buying the Pro already. Like,
I've seen
$900
so many
gonna
people
stop them.
tweet that okay, I've got this, and they specifically said I'm ready for GTA 6. That will be like that's usually the headline when they they're tweeting about their PS5 Pros. Oh yeah, man, I got this. I'm ready for GTA 6. I'm ready, bro. I'm ready. And I'm just like, okay, like people are really like, even though the price is insane right now, I think especially now, I think Steam kind of helped with that with the
Oh
price of
yeah,
the
Steam helped a
Steam
lot.
machine.
Oh my
Um,
gosh. Yeah.
Shout out
the
to
So
Steam.
PS5 Pro is looking like a steal. Okay, here's this box that's weaker than the PS5 and costs more than the Pro. So it's the in comparison, the Pro's looking like a bargain. Like, wow, twice the power, half the price. What fantastic! Like,
can we talk about how
I-
crazy that shit is? Like,
yeah, that's a perfect segue, right? there.
it went for. I told you these three topics were gonna bleed in, and that's good because we've been talking. We're an hour and 45 minutes in. We've probably been talking about this one topic for about an hour and 20 minutes now, and so like, it's absolutely crazy that the PS5 Pro went from holy shit, why are you charging that much to
Scam.
You know, that's not terrible.
It's not a bad deal when you look at it. You know, all things relative. You know,
Because mine comes with a controller, you fuckers.
ooh,
It comes
not a
with a
stand though,
controller.
but it comes with a controller. Damn it.
But the irony, right? You can still manage to get some of them under the price. Like Wario
That's
was
true.
tweeting
That's true.
several times that
Oh,
there
yeah, I've
were
seen that.
refurbished or like new PS5 Pros for like $700.
700, yeah.
Yeah, and people were, it was repeatedly selling out. I was like, people are paying attention, and then like you
Yeah,
said,
I
Black
would too. If I
Friday-
didn't have a Pro right now,
Yeah.
I'd get that like new because like Amazon's refurbished
oh yeah,
category,
top tier.
they're very good at like, you know, making sure that the item is actually good that you're buying. Like it's not
Yeah.
just like, oh, I bought this like new and it's got, you know, 17 fucking scratches on it and it overheats when I turn it on type shit. Like they're very good at like making sure it works. And you know, they have a whole money back guarantee thing with it too. So it's like, you know, fuck it, jump in if you haven't got a Pro and you want one. It's a good time to get it.
Oh shit. I'm sorry. I just went to Amazon and typed in PS5 Pro. Mind you, I haven't looked at the cost of a console in a long time. And so
Oh man, a sticker shock got you, huh?
I'm a little bit taken aback right now. But because somebody is listen to this shit. PS5 Pro with a 4 terabyte digital edition
God.
Fortnite
4 terabytes.
Yeah, listen.
Yo.
Yeah, 4 terabyte flowering Fortnite Chaos bundle with controller and case. And so the controller comes with a case. Ultra
Probably
fast
1200.
SSD, double $1,319.
Yeah.
Jesus.
They trying to do their most. I hate when they did that. They did the same thing with the PS5 when it first came out and it sold out. They started selling these expensive ass bundles that nobody wanted. Here's 3 controllers, a shitty headset, and a copy of Fortnite. Here you go. All of this is $800. Like, get out of here, bro.
Yeah, giving away a free game inside of a console. I'm like, man, shut up. Stop it. But no, I was looking on here to see if I could find any of their refurbished ones, but I don't see where they.
Yeah, because they keep selling out. I don't. It's probably not on there anymore.
I was just wanting to see what the price was because you know the regular PlayStation is $900.
Yeah, I could just tell you the one from a couple days ago, like 2 days, was $700. So that actually wasn't bad, and that was for a Pro. Because like Morgan said, I would have definitely jumped on that.
Yeah, here's
Wario,
Wario's tweet from a day ago. PS5 Pro Amazon resale deal still available, used like new for $703 at checkout.
See, that's wild. That's crazy. And I've told this story before. I paid $650 plus tax for my PS5, my base PS5 when I first got it. Because
shit.
hell yeah, I did. I couldn't find it local, and I got sick and tired of fucking waiting. And guess who had them? eBay had them. So I spent the extra.
Oh man,
I spent the extra
He folded to the
$150
scalpers.
in March or April, and I can't remember which month it was. It was March or April.
Yeah.
And I spent the extra $150, and I got my damn PS5 because I wanted my damn PS5. It's like, I don't. So that's the other part. Like I said, if you have people willing to pay, trust me, you'll get what you want. Like, I wanted a PS5. I was tired of having the 4, even though I had the Pro. I had already done the cleaning it out, replacing the thermal paste, replacing the thermal pads, doing all that. I broke it down, cleaned it all, did everything. It was running like brand new. I still wanted the PS. I wanted the new shit. And I was like, I am so sick and tired of waiting. And there was no let up in sight. And I don't even think they started becoming like available in retailers till like November of that year. And so
Took a long time.
I was like, I'm not waiting another 6 to 8 months. And one of the very few times my wife has looked at me and been okay with me paying over MSRP for something. And she's like, well, if you want it that bad, then just go ahead and get it. Like, stop. Because it literally was like almost, I was obsessed about it. Every day I was checking restocks. Every day I was asking her when I was at work to check restocks. Like, it had gotten pretty bad. And I was like, you know what? I have the money. I'm just going to use it and get the damn PS5. And that's what I did.
I mean, I'll be honest. If that wasn't such an issue in the beginning, I think PlayStation would already be at 100 million. So many people gave up like early on, and when I say early on, I'm talking about like first 2 years. Like people were still like, man, this is rough. Like, and maybe like year two and some change, then you finally started seeing them sitting in the stores, and stuff. People were still buying them, but like a lot of people gave up and like got frustrated and was like trying just not to buy one out of spite, to be honest, because they were just so mad they couldn't get one. And I get it. Like the demand was crazy.
Yeah, it really was. And Hero does want to point out that the PS5 does come with a free game and a controller. Not a free-to-play title, just a free game, because you still do get Astro's Playroom. Just saying.
You do.
A 90 million copies sold. Let's go.
And I will tell you this, my youngest son just picked up Astro's Playroom again to go back through it.
I mean, it's a fantastic little tech demo. Like it was great.
He loves that shit. And he just got some dental work done. And so the little guy was feeling like crap the other day. And he was like, I just want to play Astro's Playroom. I was like, okay, you can do whatever you want today, son. Go ahead. So he had fun with that. But like, I was watching it and I was looking at the game, and he had to do something where he had to blow into the controller. And we were like, dude, the dentist said you cannot blow, you can't use straws, like you can't do that right now.
But the dentist doesn't know about Astro. Okay, he doesn't understand.
Right.
It's necessary.
He goes, but Dad, I can't move the ice without blowing. I was like,
It's gotta be done.
I was like, okay,
gotta be
here,
done.
hand me the controller. So he handed me the controller, then I blew into it so it would start the fan.
That's hilarious.
And then I handed the controller back.
Do.
But the Steam machine coming out, so we've talked about it many times. When other companies do something stupid, PlayStation looks better by default. Like, they don't have to do anything. And they end up coming out of almost all of these scenarios smelling like a bed of roses. Like, oh, y'all thought we were terrible because we had to up our prices, and the Steam machine is going to come out, and we're scared of it, and blah, blah, blah. And how do you like me now? Like, one of the things Insomniac put up, it is because somebody asked them a question, and they responded. But, and I'm going to throw this up real quick, because I put it in the Discord. By the way, guys, any of the articles...
They replied, it comes on the disc. Yeah, I saw that response.
So it says, can you kick it? Yes, you can. Hashtag PS5. And it shows Wolverine kicking somebody with a kicking animation that looks like a 5-year-old trying to do a side kick, but that's okay. Looks like a great game. Will this be physical or a code in a box? The physical version will include a disc in box. Like, that is only funny because I know exactly what Anime and Gamer Corner was trying to say. And Insomniac just didn't stop themselves. And they were like, yeah, we can answer that question.
Somebody say, we don't do that here. Okay. Yeah. The physical will be in the box.
The physical's in the box. Like, that's so everybody's getting in on it. And that's when I think gaming is at its best and the industry is at its best, when everybody gets in on the rub and everybody gets in on the joke. It's like when Helldivers 2 came out and everybody in that community was in on the jokes. Everybody was in on the funny ha-has. Everybody was in on the game, the gameplay, all of that. You had, it's just that kind of friendly banter. Who was I talking to? Oh, I was talking to Josh about this last night. He brought up, when we talk about like rivals in like the gaming industry, we're not talking about people who hate and despise each other and don't want to see the other do well. We're talking about like a Gary and Ash type scenario where they are actually friends, and periodically throughout the story, they're going to help each other along the way, but put in a room together, they're going to duke it out and see which one's best. Like, that's how it feels with PlayStation and Nintendo. Okay, cool. Xbox comes in and they just want to buy out the market. They want, biggest regret of Phil Spencer was not buying Nintendo. Right? Like he stated that, is he said that's the one thing he wasn't able to accomplish that he wanted to do, was buy Nintendo. They don't want competition. They want things to go bye-bye. So the industry is healthier and better when everybody's kind of in on the joke. When Shuhei hands the game and goes, here's how you share our games. Like, that's funny. Everybody's in on the joke. And so I think we need more like this. We need more of this stuff in gaming. We need more of the teeth coming out just a little bit, just a friendly little tiny jab right here that 229,000 people saw. Because it's funny. And it's okay to laugh, and not everything has to be a freaking turret in the ground.
I think the reason you don't get the funny moments don't happen the way they used to is because, honestly, if we're really honest, Xbox has been on the struggle bus since 2013 and has never stopped. And most of their fan base that's left, their entire reason for existing is all about a get back on PlayStation fans.
That's true.
And so it's like, you don't get the banter back and forth anymore because we're not really both winning. We're winning, but they're not.
That's true.
Like, yeah. Like, what? That's why it's always funny when you're out with your friends, right? You guys are all millionaires now, so everything's funny, everything's great because you're all winning. But if 4 of you were winning and the one person wasn't, and you all joked about buying a yacht, well, the person who can't buy one wouldn't think it was funny.
That's a great analogy. That's not funny, asshole. I can't buy my yacht.
Exactly.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, you guys all bought Bitcoin, and I didn't, Let's laugh it up.
Dude, I hate those assholes because I know a couple of those guys, and it goes. I only know the people on. So there's 2 scenarios. One, the person who bought Bitcoin early and now is just filthy rich. The other are the people that I know who always lead into whatever new crypto they're trying out and going, man, I remember when I bought into Bitcoin and then I sold it and then it ballooned up and now I'm kicking myself. You want to be on the ground floor and they're trying to get you to buy whatever new crypto it is.
Whatever the new coin is. Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, man, shut up. But those are the only crypto bros that I know. I know the guys who, quote unquote, had Bitcoin early and then sold it magically right before the bubble. And that's like 8 different people that I've talked to that I can like point in my little friend groups and go, yeah, those guys actually tried crypto. And every single one apparently just sucked at it.
Here's the funnier one. You want to know who's really kicking themselves? The guy who bought a pizza with multiple Bitcoins at the time when they were worth like $1.
Oh yeah, he bought a pizza with like what 50 or some crazy amount of Bitcoins.
Yeah, which in today would be several $1 million.
Yeah, because I know he regretting
story.
that shit. Yeah, I know he regretting that shit so bad.
Oh, that sucks.
Absolutely.
I thought you were going to say the guy who spent $1 million on NFTs because those jokers.
Oh yeah,
oh my
yeah.
god, yeah. They just swore that was going to blow up. I never understood the concept because I'm like, I could just screenshot this and take it. Now it's mine. So what are you talking about? It's yours. You paid for that.
Don't get me wrong. No, I wish I would have sold some NFTs to some people though, because there were some really stupid people out there. Like this one chick apparently sold a single NFT and paid for a house. Like I wish I could have sold somebody.
Yes, now on the selling end, sell some of these to these suckers. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So, y'all are talking about that, and like it's the NFT thing was always wild to me. So if you look at the thumbnail for the video tonight, okay, if you look at the thumbnail, Every single one of those images has been taken from the internet somewhere. Okay?
Yeah.
They have been cropped. They have been edited. The backgrounds have been removed. Hell, on the crystal, the color is changed from what it originally was. But all of those came from the internet, and I just tweaked them enough to where I can't get sued. Like, that's it. And like Morgan said, what in the hell is stopping me from seeing an NFT going right-click, save photo as, hey, guess what? It's mine now.
Exactly. And even if they made it to a point where you couldn't save it, you could just screenshot it.
You could just
And it was
screenshot
pissing them off too when people were doing it. When people were like, "Oh, you bought that," and people would literally make it their profile picture, and they're like, "Bro, stop!" I'm like, no, "You just mad because you're realizing it's coming to you now that you just got swindled. You paid hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of dollars for this, and I just took it from you for free, no charge." It was pissing them off, and I was like, "Good, like it's what y'all get."
Oh my goodness! Now
fucking digital art, bro, get out of here.
The concept within video gaming seemed pretty cool. Like I think it was whatever shooter it was it COD that did it for a minute? Like where you could like, or was it Battlefield? One of the two big shooters did it. It might have been PUBG, where you could buy a plate for the back of your like character or the helmet or something like that. And it had like its own number on it. And that was your character's number. Okay, cool. You want to charge somebody $5 for their own unique randomized number, and that's very unique to them and their character and their prestige level and all that. Fine. But don't try to tell me that like it's this big mega craze that is a marketing ploy, or a marketing tool rather, at its best. At its worst, it's a way to waste your money and feel unique. So, like, anyways, I don't know how the hell we got on that, but that shit, NFTs were stupid as hell. Oh, yeah. People doing dumb shit. That's how we got on that. Mm-hmm. Okay, so speaking of people doing dumb shit, let's come over here to somebody who hasn't been doing dumb crap lately, and I'm going to really badly segue. Well, hang on. We've been here 2 hours now. That is technically the end of the show, but are y'all two okay to keep going to our final topic, which is going to be Final Fantasy VII's director's new direction? Okay, cool. Then we are going to keep going. This is the actual exciting topic of the night. I know that like GTA 6 is the headline and all that crap, but I actually give a shit about this topic, so we're gonna have a great time with this one. Final Fantasy VII Revelation director says his next game won't be a remake, but could be a grand-scale RPG. Hamaguchi wants a new challenge, whether it be Final Fantasy or a different IP. Final Fantasy VII, the third and final entry in the trilogy, Final Fantasy VII Revelation, will be released in spring of 2027, and rather than a timed PlayStation console exclusive like the first two games, it will be available on PS5, Xbox Series XX, Switch 2, and PC on the same day. It will release to mark the end, blah, 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 blah. We know all that shit. Get me to the interview. Thank you. In an interview with Game Informer, Hamaguchi said he's heard some players want him to remake Final Fantasy VI next, but he stated that in the event that would happen, which a PR stressed, public relations stressed to the publication was purely hypothetical, he'd rather see someone else working on that. Right in this moment, I'm fully focused on completing Final Fantasy VII Revelation and ensuring we're delivering the Final Fantasy VII Remake series in a perfect state. So that's where I am right now. At the same time, I do see a lot of fans and community asking me to take on the helm for a Final Fantasy VI Remake. He laughed. So I'm seeing a lot of that floating online, but a Final Fantasy VI Remake or any other remake, it could be me or it could be someone else. Personally, I think that it might be in better hands if it went to another creator in Square Enix. Now, this to me is an important statement. Like, when your creative says, hey, I could do it, but really, I think it needs to go to somebody else. That's him telling you he doesn't want to do it. That's him being like, listen, can we, I'm equipped, I am capable, but dear goodness, I don't want to do this. Like, that's what that sounds like to me. So he says, instead, Hamaguchi suggested he wanted to take on a new large-scale RPG. He didn't specify whether it would be a Final Fantasy game or a different series entirely. Whether you look, and this is in quotes now, whether you look at all the other titles that we have released at Square Enix, not just the Final Fantasy VII Remake series, I think Square Enix as a brand, as a company, is more than capable of delivering this grand-scale RPG that could resonate to gamers across the world. I'll believe it when I see it. Fans might have a lot of different expectations, but for me personally, I do want to take this new challenge, or take on this new challenge with another RPG title after this. So that's now the third, if you're following along, that's now the third time he's mentioned not wanting to do it. Yeah. So, listen, if for all of those who have ever been to church, anytime in like a parable where Jesus is teaching something, or when Moses is talking, or when any of the characters of the Bible are talking, if they repeat something 3 times, it's usually a good idea to pay attention because it's probably really important. So, same thing applies here or in everyday speech. If somebody during the course of an interview repeats the same sentiment 3 times, you should probably listen. He's trying to communicate something. He's done. Like, which, when you think about it, taking the, call it an 80-hour, 100-hour experience of Final Fantasy VII and dropping that into what's going to end up being almost 250, 260 hours worth of content, that's a major task. He's probably tired of looking at the same characters for the past 8 years. Like, he's probably a little done. And so it makes sense. I mean,
when I read that, I was just like, I completely get where he's coming from, because like, as a creative, it was cool. Like, I get it. I was a fan of that game, and it's great to flesh it out for fans and do all this stuff. But that was 12 years of development. I'd like to do something, you know, I mean, he's not 20 either. You know, I'd like to do something with the rest of my time as a developer and create something new, potentially that could go into the future. That is something I create, you know, or that I myself and my team are a part of creating something new, which honestly is desperately something that Square needs. They've spent way too much time relying on the good name of a bunch of franchises that they've had for a long time, and either not exploring some of the really awesome titles they do have, not returning to those, and not really creating any new ones, right? Like, literally, like, most of the stuff that people are excited for from Square right now is based on Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts. Again, 2 super long running franchises for them. And while that's cool, eventually, like, you know, you gotta do something else. And yes, that includes Final Fantasy. I do not care if the next Final Fantasy is a racing game. Like, like people on this whole thing, you know, that it changes or whatever each iteration. It's still called Final Fantasy. My nephew does not care one single atom on a microscopic level split in 2 about Final Fantasy. He does not care, because ultimately, in game development and in gaming, what have you done for me lately that appeals to me is always the real question, right? Which is why, to him, guess what? Even though that's not saying he doesn't like RPGs, but what he asked me to borrow is Expedition 33 and Persona 5 Royale. And that's my thing. That's the question Square should be asking. Why did he not ask me to borrow Final Fantasy? Which he knows I have, and I have it physically. He's seen it. But he doesn't care. Why why don't the kids care? So the very game you created for the kids, right? You know, for the people who don't care about Final Fantasy, guess what? They still don't care. Like,
and all you did was piss all of us off.
Exactly. So you fractured your fan base in hopes of a fan base that still doesn't exist. You're doing it wrong. Again, while a new team of, you know, of exponentially smaller size came in and ate your lunch like it was the buffet. And you're completely at a loss about how that happened. Because ultimately, the big thing that Square specifically needs to focus on, you need to focus on creating a great game first. And that's not to say none of them get that are left at Square, but Square as a whole needs to be their new mandate. You need to focus on creating a great game and creating a great game within that genre, right? So if you're creating a great RPG, you need to land and make sure everything lands on all cylinders, right? What we've talked about this, right? I wrote you know, um, that huge, basically dissertation in your chat at one point, right? When I was telling you guys, I went over all the different genres and I said, why are RPGs the best, right? And I said RPGs are the best because when you get an amazing one, they literally have to do everything well. Like there's no like think about it. You have a racing game, right? You can have a racing game and no story. None. Literally no story. No one cares. And it could be the best racing game of the year. I couldn't tell you what the hell happened in Gran Turismo. There's something written there that happens in between racing at some point, and then you get to the end and it says you're the champion or something. I don't know. I don't even remember. I did it and I don't remember because it's irrelevant.
In which Gran
Um,
Turismo?
GT7.
Okay, I'm about to say because none of the other GTs I remember have any kind of story except like you have to get licenses in like 4 to be
Well,
able
yeah,
to do
exactly.
anything. Like
None of the
that's it.
rest of them even had one. That because
Right.
that's how irrelevant it is. But Gran Turismo is one of the foremost racing games ever, and if not one of the biggest racing simulators of all time, right? Because it only needs to do those set of a few things well, right? It doesn't even need to have a great soundtrack. Because honestly, I turned the music off in that game 100 years ago. I don't care. When I'm racing my car, I'm either listening directly to the car or I'm going to play my own music. Like again, it doesn't have to do that. But when you play, when as you get to different genres, they require different things, right? When you think about action adventure games, they had a certain threshold, and then things like Uncharted 2 came along and raised the bar about the expectation and the story and the character development and the world building you could get in those games. Now, if you want to be at the very, very upper echelon of action adventure games, you have to come at a certain level, right?
Mm.
And RPGs have been doing that since we were kids, since Chrono Triggers and all these other titles, right? But specifically PS1 is when they really started to get in their bag. And you could tell by the amount of different titles, not just Final Fantasy, even though 7 is big for people. I love 8. A lot of people love 9, and then PS2 came and we got 10, right? But during that PS1 era, they also did Parasite Eve. They also did Xenogears. They did I always forget I don't know why I always forget the other one. Advent Story or whatever it's called. I'm messing it up. I can't
Uh,
remember the name of it right now. Um,
Which one?
but Advent or something like that. There's one other one that they did during the PS1 generation that I can never remember the name of it because I didn't really play it like that. Um, I'll remember it here in a little bit. But that's what
Vagrant
I'm saying.
Story?
Like Vagrant Story. There you go.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so you had Vagrant Story, and you even had more than that, right?
Producer
Like
Josh saving the day again. Go ahead.
yeah, so he remembered. Yeah,
Yeah.
Josh always remembers all the names.
He remembers
Um,
everything.
Yeah, all the time. But even not even just from them, right? Some of the greatest JRPGs of the time also came from Konami with Suikoden, and so they like Square wasn't even the only game in town, right? So it was even more impressive that you managed to stand out on top during the golden age because everybody else was creating heat too. It wasn't just Square. So like, what happened between Square back then and
Mm-hmm.
Square now, where you could stand on top of all those other titles back then? And for a lot of people, like I said, Final Fantasy isn't even their favorite game that Square made. Like in my case, Xenogears is my favorite game, period, of all time, and it's not. It has nothing to do with Final Fantasy. Um, but that's what I'm saying. It's like that's what they need to get back to. Focus on doing what you do so well that everybody else is following you. Not Naughty Dog is not sitting in the lab right now creating Intergalactic going, what is that other guy doing? No, they're going, we are going to create this heat of this game, this new IP, and we're going to release something unprecedented from our studio that represents us and is an amazing game. That is what you do. That is what Rockstar is doing right now. We are Rockstar. That, I know that name is so ironic, but I mean, it fits, right? No one else is a Rockstar like Rockstar. They literally have Rockstar behavior. There was a whole gaming event that happened. Rockstar didn't care. When did Rockstar do an event? When all that was over. Why? Because I can. Because I am the event. I have arrived. You know, the party don't stop till I walk in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
speaking of which, GTA 6 pre-orders are live now, guys. So get out there and spend your money.
Get it. Get it if you want it. The whole time I want to hear you bitching about how it's $80 and then just hit the buy button and just shut up.
Exactly. And just hit the buy button.
Listen,
and I've seen tons of people pre-order already. But that's what I'm saying. Like, to his point, right? Like, I think he still got the sauce. But what have we said about creators in a company that doesn't let you create, right? Like, there was only so much he could do to that story.
Sure.
Because he was being confined by a prior created work. The last thing he wants to do is be confined by another prior created work.
Yes.
Creators don't work that way. And I don't want him to work that way. I don't want them confined that way. You can create a team that does that, you know, that specializes in that or what have you. And that's cool. But
like he said, put somebody else on it. Shit. Like, he's not even saying no. He's just like, put somebody else on it.
Just
like,
not me. Exactly.
Yeah,
like, you don't put in the ace to do the rookie projects. Like, anybody could, you know, redo these titles in the respective way that people would want them. And they also need to honestly stay away from doing anything like Final Fantasy VII ever again. Like, that elongated 12-year process they committed to is insane.
Yeah.
Like, now look, if they were making GTA numbers, I wouldn't argue, right? I'd be like, look, start the next team on whatever the top requested game is immediately. But they're not. So you can't commit to that type of manpower, money, and time when that title doesn't, you know, reproduce the same way. Like, it's not, the return on investment is not worth what you're putting in. Like, it's gonna be great. You know, you are a big Final Fantasy VII fan, and I know all the people that are big Final Fantasy VII fans like you are gonna love it, right? I'm gonna finish it eventually. You know, I got burned out on Rebirth. I'm sure I'll get back to it and finish it. I'm not platinum in none of these games, so long as I live.
I don't do that anyways.
Yeah, that's not happening. But I'll probably complete it. Like Morgan said, I already bought in twice. I might as well buy in thrice. You know, it's a sunk cost fallacy for me at this point. You know, I might as well see the end of the movie. Like, I already saw 1 and 2. You know,
you got to think though, Square Enix is also in a sunk cost fallacy with Revelations anyways, because
they are.
They're going to lose their ass. I don't want to. They could come out tomorrow and have the headline pre-dated, like a post-dated check, if anybody remembers those, being able to do that. You post-date the check when you didn't have the money in the account. You're like, man, I'll post-date it for like 3 weeks from now. And like, you can't do that shit no more. Anyways, but like, they could come out tomorrow and have the statement ready to go that said, hey, Final Fantasy VII Revelation did not meet sales expectations. Because guess what? It's not gonna. It's
not.
But I stand on the fact, and I have stood on it the entire time. If my ass is the only motherfucker playing Final Fantasy VII Revelation, I don't care
what you should do. And if more people followed that, a lot of these games and these franchises wouldn't be getting shut down. But a lot of people, unlike, you know, the few of us in here and most of the chat, a lot of people don't put their money where their mouth is, and then they complain when their favorite studio or their favorite games are getting shut down because they really don't put up.
Okay.
So, yep.
We blipped. Sorry, we blipped really hard. Streamlabs just like did a soft reset. Give me just a second. Can everybody still hear us? Are we good? Hit a hitch, but it's back up. Okay, cool. I was like, It's,
Yeah, as long as you don't end it on purpose, it usually
ooh.
will link them together.
Well, so like my chat box over here on the side of Streamlabs, gone. Like, I
Okay.
was like, oh. And then I looked down and I had 2 red exclamation points. And I was like, what the hell happened? That was weird.
Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, to the point, right? To his point, like yes, I want to see him create something great, right? We had this conversation or part. This quote is like part of the story that we covered on the Otter Players podcast,
yes.
but it talked about the overall issue with remakes and all this other stuff. And Morgan said it best, right? We wouldn't have gotten Uncharted if Naughty Dog kept saying, no, but we have this great franchise called Crash, and we need to keep making that, and we need to keep making it better until we have 16 versions of it. No, they sat there, they got scared for a minute. Like, I literally listened to the whole conversation when he got the Lifetime Achievement Award recently, and he talked about talking to Neil when Neil was, still pretty new to the process, right? And he was like, "Look, we're about to do something we never done before." And it was like, "Are you sure, bro? This is kind of crazy. Like, this is nothing like what we've done before. Like, what do you mean we're gonna create a game with a gun in it? And a white dude that's funny and goes on adventures. Like, what? Like, from Crash Bandicoot now, like, what I'm saying, and all this other stuff that they made, like, and then right after you do that and you come out with part 2 and blow the world away, he goes, you know what we're gonna do now? We're gonna do something else new. Now we're gonna go dark. We're gonna go real dark. We're gonna infect the world and show what it's like to lose your daughter on the first night of the apocalypse. Like, and it's like, wait, what? Like, can you imagine somebody like imagine you just did something unprecedented and somebody's like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do something unprecedented again.
Yeah.
But that's what creatives do. They do things you never thought of. And this is always creatives, right? This is in the music world. Some of the most brilliant people I've ever heard of, right? I don't really listen to Prince, right? But I've heard stories about Prince because he's so legendary, right? That people are like, oh, he walked in the studio, he erased that track, walked in, recorded it one time, left and said, publish that. And it was a #1 hit the next day. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that is
Yeah.
what creatives do. They do something that makes no sense. You mean he walked in here, recorded it, he heard it, didn't like it, re-recorded it in one take and walked out and you published that?
Yep.
You didn't remix it, you did nothing. Because that is when somebody's on top and they're on their A game and they're capable of doing something, you let them create and they will often give you something like you've never heard of before. Again, I just watched the Michael movie, right? Just a bit ago, and it was the same thing, right? People were so lost, like, what is Michael doing? Like, what is he in there doing? All the little things he's famous for now, right? All the random noises he makes while he's
Oh, yeah.
singing and all that and all screaming randomly and all that stuff.
Can we get that one more time, Enate? Can we hear that one more time? Did you kick the leg up when you did that too? Did you toss the hat to the side?
A little bit, you know what I'm saying?
Motherfucker got his white gloves on, white and black shoes, sequenced out over here. Next thing his hair will be on fire. Like, we got
right. But that's what I'm saying, man. It's like again, nobody knew. Nobody knew what any of that sauce was, right? They were like, oh, why are you dancing that way? Why you decided to spin 6 times, when you did that one move? Like, again, it doesn't make any sense. But now you're famous for all of it.
For all of it, for floating across the stage, for every little bit of it. Like, so yeah,
exactly.
No, that makes a lot of sense. And Hamaguchi is a guy who I would love to see him get his own quote unquote game. You know what I mean? Like, I
agree.
Yeah, I need.
But don't be scared though. When I say don't be scared, I mean Square, because Square has a habit of being afraid of their own creative projects. And I say that as someone
because
who's
when they're
a fan
not, they get
of their biggest
Tetsuya
one.
Nomura doing some random ass bullshit and confusing everybody for 15 straight titles. Like,
oh yeah,
you
yeah,
can't.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Like,
You know, sometimes you got to rein them in. I'm not saying all of them can go crazy, but I'm saying just don't be scared though. So So the reason I say that, right, is because, and I'll have to get you to watch this one day, but there's the history of Xenogears, right? Xenogears was originally being created as like an offshoot or like another version like of Final Fantasy, like in competition. But Square was so afraid of the project because it was so ambitious and it was so complicated that they thought people would hate it. And obviously you have Final Fantasy 7, which you love today, right? But they also have Xenogears, which I love today, which was cut and, you know, defunded, and a bunch of other drama happened with that, right? But they almost never published it because they were so scared of all the things that that game did that were new. But I'm like, imagine all the things that are new that came from creatives that we know today if somebody never took a chance. You know what I mean? Like, we never get these new creative things. And that's why I hope he does get his chance, and I hope he does something top tier, because you're talking about one of the foremost, you know, top minds in creating RPGs getting a chance to create something new again, which Square desperately needs.
That's kind of okay. So, hang on. You're a big Xenogears fan. When did Xenogears the first one come out? Was it
Xenogears
96?
It's 1998.
98. Okay, so 2 years after Final Fantasy 7. Because I believe Final Fantasy 7 was 96. It came out release year of the PlayStation. Did it come out the release year after? I have the internet. Hang on.
Yeah, Xenogears is February 1998, and I got it July 1998 because I got it for
North
my
America
birthday.
release was 97. Okay, so it was the year after the PS1 came out. So here's the thing, y'all. We have to realize that at this point, Square Enix, or Square as a company, as a game development company, was probably about 12 years in. They had tried previously on the SNES and the NES to be wildly creative, and they almost lost their ass like 18 different times. And that's a bit of an exaggeration, but it's like every time they had a hit, they followed it up with 3 terrible decisions. And then they would have a hit, and they would follow it up with 3 terrible decisions. It was a pattern. And so when they get into... Damn, my nuts just dropped. That was weird. So when getting into Final Fantasy and into the PlayStation 1, they were a little bit more conservative with like, hey, this is what's going to actually sell. So they made the deal with PlayStation, went all exclusive. They had better graphics, better visuals, better all that. And the rest is kind of history, but they have always, and I mean always, ever since they almost had to shut their doors in like 1992, I think it was right after Final Fantasy II came out, because Final Fantasy II did not sell that well. Most folks don't know that, but Final Fantasy I did great. Final Fantasy II did not so much. And so because of that, they were not doing very well. And they had decided to go back to a more like traditional stance. I think that's where we got Ridge Racer from, if I'm remembering right. Like, that's when they did certain things where they would make the game, but then they would let somebody else publish it and distribute it in America. So like Acclaim, I think, is the one who originally released Ridge Racer over here, even though it was a PlayStation title or a Square Enix or Square title. And so
Ridge Racer is Namco.
Oh, who is it then? They had a racing game. Hang on.
I mean, they probably did, but
it's
Ridge
a
Racer
popular one. Square Enix racing game. Because they had one. I can't remember what it is. Classic Hybrid Kart Rate? No.
Yeah, I don't. You might have been mixing it up with Ridge Racer.
No, they no, because Acclaim was the one that Square Enix racing game published by Acclaim. This is going to bug the shit out of me. Rad Racer, not Ridge Racer. Sorry, it was Rad Racer. It was a title that came out in 1987 on the SNES, on the regular NES. Sorry, it was published by Acclaim, but however developed by Square Enix and published by Square Enix in Japan, and also by Electronic Arts elsewhere.
Oh, by popular, you meant NES. Good guy, you went all the way back.
Yeah, because they've been the same fucking company for 30 plus years, and people act like this shit's new. They've been risk averse. They have been not wanting to really branch out that much when high risk is involved. They don't do that. And so I would
Makes me cry
love
because
do what?
their best, which makes me cry because their best games, for me at least, are mostly non-Final Fantasy titles. As great as Final Fantasy is, and I'm glad it's done all it's done over the years, and they are some of my favorite titles. Like most of my actual top titles from Square are not those. It's the Chrono Triggers, it's the Xenogears, it's the Parasite Eve. It's all the games they took a chance on and not the franchises.
See, for me, I put Chrono Trigger up there, but outside of Final Fantasy, I haven't messed with a lot of their other IPs. To me, Square is and will always be the Final Fantasy studio. Kingdom Hearts got close for me, where like there was a time right before KH or right after KH3 actually, where I was very much, oh yeah, they're Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts. But
So wait, how old is your oldest child right now?
12.
Okay, so right now, you Square needs whatever is going to be his Final Fantasy, and it cannot be Final Fantasy. That is your thing. That is what Square needs right now. They need that synonymous nature that you had with Square and Final Fantasy.
Yes.
They need that relationship with him. And if they tell him, even if that next game is so great to him and Final Fantasy is good, Final Fantasy is still going to be your thing and not his thing. It needs to be something else. So they need to do that right now. That is where I like me personally, that is where Square's issue is coming in.
So did they just abandon the Final Fantasy moniker for a while?
I mean, either put it on ice, because I don't know what their manpower is like, right? You either need to put it on ice and really work on some new ideas, or you need to separate a team that has a mandate to create a new title like you had before with those titles that created the Parasites and the Xenogears and the Vagrant stories and so on. So if they can do both, by all means do both, right? But what they need to stop doing is stop trying to use that whole Final Fantasy changes thing and stop ripping that series apart to appease a fan base that doesn't exist and create another game that does something else. Because we've I don't know if you've said this on the show, but we've had the conversation, and I've extensively had the conversation to the point where I have muted every variation of Final Fantasy 16 to this day. Final Fantasy 16 would have been a great game.
If it was
It is
called
not a
Devil
great
May Fantasy?
Yeah, but it is not a great Final Fantasy.
No.
Like that is the problem. It should have just been a different game. You literally got like three things to get rid of, like in the game. You could have made up some different summons. You could have had icon battles with whole different things and removed chocobos, and you would have been good. It would have been a 5-minute change. Like it's no problem to make that game.
You could even leave the
Fantasy.
crystals, because it was one of the most heavily crystal focused games that I can remember of the new generation of titles. Like and by new generation I mean from PS1 up. There were
Yeah, and I mean
not
they've got crystals in a bunch of their games, so yeah, you could still vibe with the whole crystal thing.
Right.
That could all still be a part of it, but it needs to. They and this is my thing, right? And something I've had a conversation of. When is something eventually? When is something so far from its original idea that it is no longer the same thing? Like we don't call gymnastics and gymnastics and volleyball the same sport. You know, basketball and soccer both have a ball in them. They are not the same sport. Like they have different names for a reason. They're entirely different sports. You can't just be like, we've changed the game. Like if the NBA came out tomorrow and revealed like a soccer field and we're like, we've changed the NBA forever, people would be like, what? That's basically what Final Fantasy does. They're like, look, you know, we all watch John Wick, and we are all big John Wick fans. So we are going to make a John Wick game, but we are going to label it Final Fantasy. How does that sound? Like, what?
So two things. One, the accent there was kind of funny. Two, very subtle, but I caught it. Two, so what I would like to see, and this is just me personally, I would like to see Namora put over onto a remake or remaster, kind of like, because you talked about how Hamaguchi has been kind of confined. Let him out, and let's put Namora in a box a little bit and like kind of temper that guy down a bit, because he's insane. He said,
yeah, you gotta lay off the peyote, and we're gonna let him go.
Yeah, it was like, and here's the deal: he's insane. His creative mind is genius. He's Square Enix's version of Kojima. Like, it's that level of this doesn't make any fucking sense at all until you play the game 30 times, and then all of a sudden everything clicks. Like,
I mean, to be honest, I still frequently put people on the spot who tell me they are Kingdom Hearts fans, and I've still had no one tell me the story. I mean, I put them. I don't even try anymore. On the spot. Yeah, trust me. Omar loves to claim he's the biggest fan on the planet, and I'm like, all right, bet. All right, in the next 10 minutes, tell me the story. Go. Nope. And he just sits there dumbfounded, and I'm like, exactly. That's the problem.
Right. So Josh, yes. So he's already familiar with the remake process. So move him once KH4 is done. Move him off of KH4 onto another remake entirely, or once FF7 remake is done, move him over to the next. I think so. Here's the deal. Here's something that we can't just get rid of. Square Enix does have a shit ton of really good stories and good IP from before Enix and them merged. So they can take, and Morgan, I am so sorry. If you want to jump into any of this, you are more than welcome.
Oh no, you're good. I mean, I'm not that big Square fan that you guys are. Like, I don't. Okay. Like, I said it on the last video. I don't give a shit about Final Fantasy, to be real. Like, I don't have that nostalgia for it. I didn't really grow up with it, so I'm listening to you guys and paying attention.
But that makes you perfect though.
Right.
And the reason I say it, and I say that
because I need you to like Square Enix, because that means they're doing something right.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like Team Osono. That's the only that's the team I like in Square Enix.
That's true.
People that make the HD2D games.
I think that's why I've always associated.
I'm really excited about Final Fantasy Resonance. So that Final Fantasy, I'm very excited for.
Oh my god! Listen, everybody in the chat. I know there's only 9 of y'all. That blip took away over half of the audience. But listen. If you like the old school and you've been screaming, I want an old school Final Fantasy title. I don't want one that's Final Fantasy without the name. I don't want one that alludes to it. No. I want a real Final Fantasy game. I want 16-bit. I want turn-based. Just go back to the classic. Give me the classic. If you do not open your wallet for Resonance, I never want you to speak again. Just shut your mouth. Like, if you
it's already ordered. Like, it's already good to go.
If people have been begging about this shit and don't purchase it, I have nothing else for you. Like, my first question when you tell me I want them to do a turn-based Final Fantasy game from this point forward is going to be, did you pre-order Resonance or are you going to buy it day one? If your answer to me is no, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Like, you have lost all credibility in my mind. If it's like if you sit there and say, hey, I want them to make the new game X, or I really wish that they would make another Call of Duty. But I really want them to do it like the old school. Man, I want them to bring back the old school Call of Duties. I expect your ass to be in line day one to purchase Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2. Like, because you're the one that's been griping that Call of Duty needs to return to its roots, and now they're letting you with full multiplayer, full zombie mode, full everything. And if you don't buy it, then you're full of shit. Like, and that's how I feel about Resonance. And Nate, you have pointed it out a lot. Resonance is going to shine the spotlight on a lot of people who claim they want one thing, but actually just want a gripe.
But it does something important, right? Because I did tell you, they need to stop relying on the Final Fantasy name, and I need to be I need to be specific about what I mean by that, right? What I mean by that is you can't rely on the name alone to carry whatever it is that you do. And to me, that is what 16 did. Now, I'm not saying some people don't love it. I mean, some people swear that game is a masterpiece. That's irrelevant, though, because it didn't do what Square wanted. So I'm talking about Square right now. Square wants that Persona sauce right now. When I tell you Atlas, what is the first game that comes to mind for you?
Persona 5 Royale.
Exactly. So Persona has become synonymous with Atlas, right? But in that, I'm gonna tell you right now, you know who that irritates? Shin Megami Tensei fans, because SMT was what started that series, which is ironic, right? There's another fan base within Atlas that hates a franchise that is popular, and
That's
they hate
funny.
it because Persona was the sub franchise. How dare you become the dominant franchise? But guess what? Now it's synonymous, and now the Persona 6 didn't show jack squat and is one of the highest watched freaking premieres of that entire event, that for the whole summer they didn't show nothing, because that is how hot it is. And when 6 comes out and is finally revealed, like I said, my nephew today is going to want it. You know who else is going to want it? Morghan. So again, they bridged the gap successfully by creating an incredible title. Yes, it's called Persona, but they didn't rely on that name. They focused on creating an amazing game within that franchise, which bridged the gap between old fans and created new fans all at the same time. So that's 3 different variations. You have someone who's played Persona, me, Persona 5 Royale, love it. Introduce Morghan, new fan who is not, old, not a, teenager. Now you have teenager, my nephew, who loves Persona and will probably play Persona for the rest of his life. Like, that is what Square needs. They're looking for that bridge, and they're focusing in the wrong place. They think they need to create a different game. You can't create GTA. So no, that is not your answer. You are not that. You are not Devil May Cry. So stop trying to do that. Focus on creating a great Final Fantasy game and give us that. There was no question back in the day, right? Like you said, when you were a Final Fantasy fan in your infancy, right? When you played 7, there was no question in your mind that you were buying heat when a Final Fantasy came out, and that's all you cared about. It wasn't specifically the name alone, but Square was on the box, and it was Final Fantasy. They became synonymous with a quality, right? But if you stop delivering that quality, you become synonymous with other things, and that's not what you want. And that's what Square needs to focus on. They need to focus on getting that pedigree back. So even if it's not a different franchise, stop relying on the name to sell the game and rely on the game to sell the name. That's what they need to do. I'm done. The sermon is over.
I just realized I was muted the whole time. I've been responding back to you this entire time.
You were muted.
I did not realize that at all. So here's my just. I don't know, because of how entrenched Square is into the Final Fantasy moniker. Like, I don't know if they can. I don't know if a new title from Square Enix would be well received if it's not linked to one of the... I don't know if people can separate Square from Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts enough to invest in a new IP from them. And I know that sounds weird, but somebody like me, they say, hey, Square is doing this. Oh, is it Final Fantasy? No, it's a new game. Oh, is it Kingdom Hearts? No, it's a new game. Oh, well, then I go point of reference, okay? And here's the problem. Point of reference tells me that if it's a new game that's from Square that is not linked to Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts or one of their legacy IP, right? Dragon Quest, stuff like that, right? We're talking new IP. I go to Forspoken. Okay. I go to Avengers. Okay. I go to Babylon's Fall. All right. These are games that are new IPs from Square Enix that did not perform very well at all. When they do
let me ask you this though.
Uh-huh.
So I know the fear is because of how they failed before, right?
And I'm leaving Team Asano out of it because Team Asano is a different beast.
Team Asano. We're talking AAA specifically right now.
Correct.
Talking top tier budget. So I'm
talking
saying,
about Business Unit 1 and Business Unit 2. That's it.
Yeah, so if Expedition 33, a different name, whatever you want to call it,
sure,
came out under them, do you think that fear would have been alleviated then?
I think there's still...
I'm not saying entirely, because they've got years of doing that nonsense.
Right.
But I'm saying... That's... I mean, because we gotta calculate. That came from
I don't know if people would have...
unknown team.
Yeah, but I don't know if people would have really looked at it the same way, because part of it was the draw that it was from an unknown team. It was from a scrappy, y'all remember the stories, only 33 developers, even though it was more like 218. But like, there was a story, there was a lore behind it. There was, what are these guys doing? This looks great. This is insane. I think if Square puts their name on it, we're like, okay, why does the hair look fuzzy? Why does the combat look a little weird? Why is the lighting off? What's like, I feel like people would pick it apart more if it was from Square than being from Sandfall, because there is that pedigree. Plus, this is the other problem, regardless of what people want to say, if Square puts into a new IP or a new title, that title is automatically, unless a complete genre shift happens, I think that title automatically gets compared to Final Fantasy if it's turn-based and Kingdom Hearts if it's action. And I think that's something that we just aren't going to be able... I don't see how Square escapes that. It's all...
I'm going to be honest. That sounds like they're going to be... Sounds like they're on borrowed time, to be honest.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that they can escape the fact that they are Final Fantasy and they are Kingdom Hearts. And so getting new IP to stick with them is difficult. That's why Saga... dude, why can't I think of his name? Saga... Shit, the father of Final Fantasy. Holy crap. Somebody help me.
So Sakaguchi?
Sakaguchi, there we go. That's why he left. He wanted to do more creative things and realized that he was just working on Final Fantasy stuff. And he wanted to move on. And he did. He left. And later, Square Enix published one of his games. Anyways, that's a cool story. I wanted him to come back so hard when I found out that they were like publishing one of his games. And no, that was just cool. But anyways, so I don't think that they really have a shot to get people. They have to be willing to take lumps. They have to be willing to take bruises. They have to be willing to try and go, okay, I'm going to invest in Uncharted, knowing that it may not sell well out of the gate. I'm going to invest in this new IP, this new style. I'm going to invest in Aloy and in Horizon Zero Dawn. Even though it's not going to sell well at the onset, we're going to invest in this IP because we believe in it, and we are trying to change who we are as a development team and as a studio. The problem is Square no longer allows that level of variance and that level of creativity in their AAA space.
They said they were doing a reset, so
I'll believe it when I see it.
Let's see how far they're willing to go.
That's okay. So
I just think they got the creative sauce. I just think they're too scared, and I think as long as they remain too scared, they're never gonna return back to the heights that we grew up with, like we're not gonna see another Final Fantasy X. Like it's just not gonna happen.
And that makes me
So
cry
that's my fear.
because that's that makes me really sad. That I
Shit.
I've been watching Sebi a little bit because I feel like he's kind of the rage part of me when it comes to Square. And like,
Yeah.
so I've been watching a few of his shorts lately, and some of the things he gets, some of the things he doesn't. He hates the scene, the Tidus laughing scene in Final Fantasy X, and I love it because of the context. It's supposed to feel awkward. It's supposed to make you feel like you're witnessing this really ridiculous.
It's definitely awkward,
dude. It's so awkward, but it's supposed to be. You're supposed to feel that way. The directors have come out and said, yeah, that scene is supposed to be awkward and uncomfortable because Tidus is trying to be awkward and uncomfortable to make Yuna feel better. It's a very intimate and private moment between them two that you are literally watching and looking into. So yes, you should feel awkward. Like there's a reason here. Anyways, he talks about that, but he also does bring up some he says the turning point is Final Fantasy 12. He said Final Fantasy 12 was when everything kind of went downhill. The voice work got worse. The writing became campy and worse. Everything was a lot.
So by turning point, he means 12 started the downfall.
12 started the downfall.
It is the downfall.
No, 12 started the downfall. He goes because even the story is not original to them. It's just a play on Star Wars. Like Fran, he's like Fran and Balthier
That's
are.
A good point.
He's like, it's just a borrowed storyline. And then they did it again with Final Fantasy 17 or 16, where it's like you said, it's just Game of Thrones. I didn't realize that because I've never watched Game of Thrones, but like they are.
Oh boy, but if you had, it'd be so much more funnier.
Like, so there's things within Square that I really, dude, don't lose Hamaguchi like you did Sakaguchi. Please, for the love of God, don't do that. The care
Agreed.
and the passion that this dude still has for making video games, please let the guy go do what he wants. The other downside is that if he hasn't even started storyboarding his next project or decided what he's going to do, guys, we're not getting a new game from him for 6 years. So that's the other downside is Square doesn't have the ability right now to pivot quickly. And that's what they need to do. And that's what they say they're doing the Great Reset, right?
Yeah, they say they're doing that.
But what are we getting from the Great Reset? We're getting the third part of the trilogy. We're getting a 16-bit Final Fantasy game. And we're getting Kingdom Hearts 4. That doesn't sound like a reset. That sounds like business as usual. Like,
agreed.
That doesn't sound like you're not giving me anything new to even try to be excited about. Like, let the champions, me and others who are Square Enix stans, give us a reason to shout your name from the rooftops that doesn't have to do with Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts, and let us at least try. Like, we talked, I think, last time you popped in here, you weren't even scheduled to be on, but you popped in and you were talking about how you were in a conversation with like a group of Xbox people on Twitter, and they were like, well, if I don't like the game, I'm not buying it, even if I want to support the franchise or something like that. And I'm like, no, if Square came out tomorrow and said, guys, listen, we are developing a new RPG. It is going to have the fighting style from 7 or 15, or whichever fighting style you get really jazzed about from Square Enix. It's going to have this fighting style. It's going to have a story-driven. We're doing a full orchestral presentation in the game. It's going to be live orchestra. All of this. Here's our creatives. Here's this. We have Hamaguchi. We have Nomura Consulting. We have all of these people. Blah, blah, blah. Like, give me a reason to be excited again. Like,
I agree.
Anyways, that...
Well,
sorry.
I will say one thing. So to this point, right? This is why I say, and this is where I'm at right now. I've kind of already started to let Square go. It's up to them now to prove to me that they can return to their spot where they used to be. I I will still appreciate their games. I will still enjoy the titles that come from them that I do like. Like the upcoming Resonance, Final Fantasy Resonance, and stuff like Morgan said. I'm more of a Team Asano fan than I am a Square Enix fan these days. And that's kind of saying a lot. Um, but a lot like BioWare has kind of gone to the wayside, and they're kind of in their last hope with this next Mass Effect. We've finally started to get, finally started to see the rise of new studios start to come for that crown. Whether or not they obtain it in one go isn't necessary, right? But what they have done is they've generated excitement in people who are fans of their prior franchises like Mass Effect. Because everybody that, that we talk with in your Discord and stuff, we are all excited for the Expanse series, the upcoming Expanse game, and for Exodus.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Morgan is reading, she's currently reading the Expanse books, and that's not that she didn't plan to, but that's in large part to make sure she's caught up, and because she's so excited about the Expanse and hearing the way that we, me and one of our other podcast members talked passionately about the Expanse and the story and character development and world building that is in that world, and how that ties in closely with the game, and how they're respecting that source material. And it's like you're creating these new worlds and bringing them reverse, funny enough, to video games. While in reverse, you're getting video games going, obviously, to other mediums now. This is kind of a reverse for the Expanse. But again, like I said, both of those titles have their own respective ways that they're generating excitement for fans of those franchises that BioWare no longer really does. We haven't the next Mass Effect hasn't seen the light of day. They claim they're working on it, but obviously EA is in turmoil. They're about to be sold. There's a bunch of nonsense going on, and I've kind of put Square almost in that same, I'm gonna let it go. And now if you do something incredible, if you do something amazing, and you show me you can reignite that fire, you know what I mean? It's almost like if you've ever seen people carry the Olympic torch, and sometimes it looks like it's about to go out. That's the Olympic torch. Eventually when they light that really big one at the stadium, it gets huge, right? But until then, you got to protect it, and it's really small, and while they're running with it several times, it could go out, but it's really small. But eventually, in this case, they can make it back to that stadium and light that big fire. I hope they can. But right now they're back on the journey, is what I would say they are for me. We'll see what happens. I think they're going to deliver for, like you said, what's left in the tank. They still got that gas in the tank, and that's Final Fantasy for you, and probably Kingdom Hearts for a lot of people. But what's next in the tank after that? And the answer is right now we really don't know. So,
and sadly, right now, and I can say this in all clarity and sincerity, right now, after the remake part 3, after that comes out, I don't care. I don't. There are so many other games, and you really mind fucked me like a year ago when you were like, "So Thrifty, you don't like Square Enix, you like Square, and I think that's your problem."
Yeah.
Or no, you said you don't like Square Enix, you like Squaresoft, and that's your problem because they ain't been Squaresoft since Final Fantasy X.
And they haven't.
And that's like been a splinter in my brain ever since, because when I start wanting to have these Square conversations, which I usually reserve for when you're on here, when I want to have these Square conversations, it's am I still just judging them based off of before the merger, or based before the buyout in 2001? Like, am I? And I am, because that's what I feel. And as long as the Hamaguchis and the Namaros are still there, I feel like the pedigree is that, like, these guys created shit. Like, it's not like I'm asking them to do something that they haven't done before, right? it's like looking at an all-star pitcher and going, "Hey man, I need you to go pitch a baseball game." And like, okay,
But
cool.
I'll tell you what part of the problem is they're running into, and I hear it when they talk about stuff. That while they still got the spark, if you're afraid to do what you're good at because you're worried about the reception before you've done it, it's going to hamper your creative flow. And I hear that every time they speak, when they talk about what does the modern day crowd want. And if you can't create without worrying about that and focus on creating the best thing that you want, it's always going to be hindered, because that is what we see from the best of a lot of the studios today, right?
Mm.
Um, and that's where basically, like I was saying, they could still be great, but if they're still like it, basically, it's like you got to remember how much older they are now, right? Most of them are in their 50s and 60s.
That's true.
You
I
know,
can't think like that though because they all look like they're still 25 years old. So
yeah, I mean, some of them
just,
still look pretty. Some of them look pretty young still, but a lot of them are getting close to.
yeah, I
They're
know.
maybe gonna make one more game, and then the real question Square needs to start saying, "Where's the new blood?" You know, and I asked myself this about other stuff that I'm into over the years, right? I was like, everybody loves Denzel Washington, right? He's a
Yep.
great actor, and then I started to go, "Where's the new Denzel Washington?" Because
Michael B.
Denzel's
Jordan.
old. Well, but that's what I'm saying. So eventually, Michael B.
Actually,
Jordan showed up,
no, it
and
was.
It was
Thank you.
Chadwick
It was
Boseman,
Chadwick Boseman first, and then Michael B. Jordan.
and then Michael B. And then they
Yep.
came up together, right? And but we need more though, right? We need more. You know, it's sadly with Chadwick passed. You know, now we back down to one. You know, and it's like, well, we need more. Where the rest of them at?
Yep.
Because as great as Denzel is, he's not gonna live forever.
Dude, I feel that way
And
about
we,
a lot of
you know,
actors from back in the day. Like the chops that we have now as far as acting are just not the same that I grew up with. Like
it's not.
we don't have the Denzels, the Tom Cruise, the Jim Carreys. We don't have those
I mean,
guys.
that's why they spending all this time trying to make Robert Downey Jr. look 20 forever,
Dude.
because he's one of the last great actors. You know, one of the really top tiers.
See, Josh Ayers just said that Square wanted the new creative to be Naoki Yoshida, but it hasn't panned out the way they wanted. Like, and I think
So
I'm
the new talent ain't working out the way they want.
right. And so
That's rough. That's rough.
Yeah.
Hey man, you might be death row, death row label, bro. You might be a famous '90s studio, and
yeah. You
yeah,
might be a
and
famous '90s studio owned by Snoop Dogg. Like that's
yeah, exactly. Yeah, like you no longer, you are no longer what you used to be.
Which fun fact? Here's how far Death Row fell. I didn't know they still existed until I heard Snoop Dogg bought them, and I was like, wait, they're still around? What?
But that's what exactly, we're in the same boat. I didn't know that either. I was like, oh, that's still a thing.
That's still a thing?
Yeah.
That's, anyways, that's like telling me, oh crap, what was Master P's label? I don't even think that's still around anymore, but
No Limit Records.
No Limit Records. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
We gonna talk about bitches and
I'm
hoes.
sure. Yeah, I'm sure he will. He will never let that go. I'm sure No Limit will exist somewhere on paper as a LLC that will go to the grave with Master P. But yeah, that's about where that exists nowadays.
That's funny. That's Cash Money's not around anymore either, is it?
I mean they're around, but
Because
like
I thought Birdman like sold the whole thing.
I mean somebody got it. I just don't know who it is.
Okay, I was about to like I stopped following labels once I realized how shitty labels actually were.
Oh yeah,
So
they're terrible.
I just stopped caring. I was like,
Yeah, I heard somebody mention Cash Money like recently, and I was like, oh, that's still a thing. So yeah,
I gotta
know
check
what you
who owns Cash Money. This is what you get when you come. Oh, it is still him. It's
is
still
still him? Okay,
owned
there you go.
by Ronald Slim Williams and Brian Birdman.
There
Really?
you go.
Oh, but they're now subsidiary. This is what it was. They became subsidiaries of Republic Records and UMG, Universal Music Group. So they became part of the big conglomerate. That's what happened.
Gotcha.
Okay. But like, That's the problem when you get people on who actually have depth to their like personality and like who they are as a person, and it's not just hey, I game and that's it, because you you end up talking about so much other shit. Like my wife and I were talking about that the other day. I was like, honey, you know, the first TV show that has actually interested me in watching that wasn't related to like an old IP getting redone, like the Avatar season 2, I'm super excited about. The casting of Toph is fucking amazing in that movie, or in that series. They did such a good job with her, and I'm so excited. I would have been totally okay if her and Aang like got together, and that was the I knew she was young, but like growing up, they then got together later on in the series would have been awesome. She was fantastic. Is this a music podcast or a playground? This is neither, my guy. It's a gaming den. We get to talk about whatever the fuck we want.
It's like we're in the den, you know, the conversations happen.
It was Spider-Man Noir. That for some reason,
Great show.
I haven't watched
now you
it
woke
yet.
Morgan up. Now you woke
the whole
Morgan up.
season.
Is it really good?
Fantastic.
Did you watch it in color,
black and
or
white?
did you watch it? Okay.
Watched it in black and white. Fan-fucking-tastic. I'm talking about the cinematography in that show. Great.
Nicolas Cage
absolutely.
is just Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage is Nicolas Cage, but it works for Spider Noir though. It is
because he's an over
just
actor.
him on here, and it's just like I'm telling you right now. If anybody in the chat has not watched Spider Noir, it's on Amazon. The entire season's on there, so you just binge it. Okay,
yeah. It's only 8 episodes, isn't it?
It's only 8 episodes, but I think they're like all like an hour each or so. Like I ran through that fucking show. Like it's just so fucking good. Okay, and it's just that fresh take, obviously, on Spider-Man that we haven't seen in a while, like something different. And my God, like Nicolas Cage kills it, man. You would think, being his age, you're like, how can he play fucking Spider-Man? But like,
he's why I wanted to watch it.
he just carries that character so fucking well, and his supporting cast, literally the supporting cast, amazing. The villains, amazing. His backstory to becoming Spider-Man, amazing. Like everything is it just works on all levels.
It's just that good.
Great show. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. If you have Amazon Prime, watch it now, please. Like, I need season 2 like right now. So
Corey said, he goes, it's the best Nicolas Cage has been in anything ever, which is high praise because him and The Rock.
Listen, I love Nicolas Cage, though. I know people hate him, but he was fantastic in this. He was fantastic in this.
You give me Gone in 60 Seconds? Like,
yeah, Gone in 60
absolutely.
Seconds and The Rock.
The Rock, Con Air, Face Off.
Yeah, Con Air. Yeah.
Like, there was a moment where you put Matchstick Men is actually really good. The Sorcerer's Apprentice is actually not a terrible movie. Like, anything that he's in, I generally like. Like, National Treasure 1 and 2 are some of my favorite movies.
National Treasure is my shit, man.
I love those things. So that's what I'm saying. Hero just echoed what I'm thinking. Like, you're gonna tell me that's a better performance than what he did in Con Air when he said, "Put the bunny back in the box"? Like, come on! Like, you're.
Man. That was a moment.
He's got the whole world. Still to this day, like Jim Belushi in that, or John, was it Jim? Jim or John? It was Jim.
John.
John's the bigger one. Jim is the skinny, Weasley looking one, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Jim Belushi. Nope. Jim Belushi is actually the big one, so I think you're right. Is it John? Nope. Who was the other guy? Con Air bunny actor. There we go. What the hell's this dude's name? Not Cameron Poe. That was the main character. Who the hell was this guy?
I was gonna say IMDb probably would have told
Steve
you
Buscemi. There we go.
There you go.
Steve Buscemi. He's been in a lot of Adam Sandler movies. But like, that was the first time, and he played perfect. Anyways, like, Nicolas Cage is one of my favorite actors for the same reason that Godsmack is one of like my favorite bands, and it's because they have two modes and that's it. Like, you know what you're getting anytime you sit down with Nicolas Cage. You know what you're getting anytime you pop in Godsmack on an album, on your iPod, whatever. Like, you're getting one of two songs. You're getting Voodoo and anything else that they have made. Like, that's it. That's all you're getting. And with Nicolas Cage, you're either going to get overacting, or you're going to get somebody who is so somber and, like, laconic and just dry and dead that it works. It's so weird. It's almost the same effect as Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves plays two characters, and that's it. And he does it very, very well. And so, like, that's really where you fall with him. And so that's okay, though. Anyways, oh, yeah, Standalone by High Price. I said what I said. Spider-Man Noir is the best Nicolas Cage has ever been in anything, and I have loved Nicolas Cage since Raising... Oh, that's even further back than me. Raising Arizona. Oh, dude, my wife and kids are out of town this weekend. I can binge watch Spider-Man Noir with no interruptions and a bag of popcorn.
Oh, that's about to be a fantastic weekend for you, man.
And
so he's about to just chilling on the couch in his boxers, like, yeah, Spider-Man Noir.
Because I have the portal, I can actually finish up Adventures of Elliot while watching Spider-Man Noir.
Oh man,
like,
he's the gamer we were warned about.
Hey, listen, I am the guy who's gonna play on a portal while watching the TV. That's definitely me. My wife hates it. She's like, "How can you focus on both at the same time?" I'm like, ADHD sometimes is a superpower. Other times it's debilitating and crippling, and I can't get anything fucking accomplished at all, and I lose my train of thought. So, like, tonight, I literally had, like, a blue screen of death happen mid-thought tonight, and I just laughed about it, and then we moved on. Like, it's just fucking...
Yep.
But all right, so guys, it is now midnight my time. It is way later than that, I think, for Morgan, and Enate has like 2 more hours before it's even midnight. But we do need to get out of here. I've kept these folks here way longer than I should have. So let's finish off with this. 1, where can people find you? But 2, what is the next game you're purchasing? And I didn't start with anybody, so Enate will just go with you.
Yeah, I was like, you didn't specify a person.
I'm
so.
Sorry.
But yeah, obviously you can find me on Blue Sky and Twitter as The Real Enate, or typically every Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on the Otter Players podcast. The next game I am purchasing is Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which has already happened. So, yeah.
Fair enough.
The deluxe edition, specifically.
All right. What about you, Morgan?
Yeah, you guys can also find me on Twitter, at Shell Bandit, and on PSN, because that's where I'll be after I get off of this, because, fuck sleep. It's about playing the games, right? Exactly. But the next game I'll purchase is, again, similar to Enate, is going to be Assassin's Creed Black Flag, because that was my favorite Assassin's Creed of all time. Well, next to the Ezio, trilogy. But yeah, that's happening immediately. Again, another edition that's going to be probably over $100 for the deluxe or whatever. I'm buying it. I don't care. Okay, I need it now. So yeah, and that's a remake. So fuck it. I don't care.
So. I'm going to veer off just a little bit. Also, guys, you can find both of these people on the Otter Players podcast. The link is in the description below. They are on there with 2 other people who I need to get on the show that I've never had on, in Weeb and Omar. Omar is a character. He's great.
He's definitely that.
And a gamer. And Weeb, when he gets to talk without Omar cutting him off, is super insightful and a really awesome guy just to listen to him talk. And so, really, really good gamer. And I'm joking about the Omar cutting him off. It's just funny. Just all jabs. No big deal. But go check them out. They also have had this other girl. I can't remember her name. But she's been coming on. Or she's come on a couple times recently. as well. So,
Oh yeah, you might be talking about Kay. Yeah,
Kay,
shout
that's
out to
it.
Kay.
Yeah. And she's really cool too. Definitely a bunch of gamers just talking about video games. Go follow them if you're not. If you're not subscribed over there, go drop a subscribe. Their channel should have 3 times as much as mine does, and it does not. They are absolutely everything you want in a gaming podcast. It's all about games. That's it. And so go check them out. For me, the next game I'm purchasing is actually a game I almost purchased a couple days ago, and it is, as Thrifty says, on sale, because that's who I are. Tiny Tina's Wonderland was on PlayStation Plus Extra for a little bit, and I really got into it, and then it left Extra, and I started playing other things, and I didn't realize it had left Extra, so now it's on sale for like $13, and I'm picking it back up. Ace or Isu, depending on what YouTube shows up at the time, really wants to play that, and him and I both want to dive back into it. So we will be getting that Compulsion Games layoffs happening now. That's next week, or that is a Thoughts with Thrifty. Speaking of that, next week it will be me by myself and y'all in the chat. So I need everybody to come out, support the chat. Come on. Get in here. Let's talk about some cool gaming stuff. With that, though, shout out to the channel members: Stephen Leon 3072, Cosmic Hero 270, It's Just Henry Heck, Josh Ayers, Gaming Grindhouse, Isu, the Kipling's Lounge, and I'm missing one more. I gotta wait for the little scrolly bar to come back, and then I can hit it. I don't know who I'm missing. Josh Ayers, Gaming Grindhouse, It's Just Henry Heck. I got that one. Oh, there it is. The Retro Gamer Guy. That's right. Appreciate all of y'all who are members of the channel. It does help support my habit. So thank you all very much for that. If you want to become a member, you can hit the join button, do all that crap. If you want to support for free, hit the like, subscribe, and share this out. Thank y'all so much. Y'all have a wonderful night. I'm going to try to count to 3 because last time I cut this off after I said have a good night, it came out have a good and then just stopped. So have a good night, guys, and we will see you on the next one.
Not everybody.